Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the GDPSports High School Football Broadcast. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: Frost, more than a century of serving Texans, and now in the Frost Tower. Central Builders, the Ehrlich family is dedicated to the construction industry with coast-to-coast projects. The law firm of Thomas J. Henry, open 24 hours with legal experts on call. John Lester's Insure One, providing Texans with home and auto protection. By Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union, a credit union that puts people before profits. By APIA Connected Investors, Shannon DeLon, providing insurance for real estate investors. BCFS, a beacon of hope for families around the world. REMAX, by Chris Collins, buying or selling a dream home in the real estate world. GPS of Texas, peace of mind for all drivers with installed tracking devices. Dr. Eric Kuhl, providing that $1 million smile with a future of dental health. By Gridiron Heroes, dedicated to assisting young men suffering from football-related spinal cord injuries. Cherry Hills Baptist Church, where the Lord provides the football field for eternity. By Mecca Sportswear, supplying the leather jacket of pride for your school and sport. Eagle Print, where San Antonians take their printing for quality and satisfaction since 1974. Also brought to you by one name that stands out in the San Antonio rental car business: Budget Car and Truck Rental on Sandow Road, just east of 281 North.
Hi, everybody. I'm Al Michaels. Oh, not really. Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to our microwave of football station tonight, as the September fall weather is more like Presidio in July. Now, this is week 5, of course. That's the halfway mark of the 2019 season, as the weeks skip by faster than political propaganda. Now, this evening, the two football 11s find themselves in unaccustomed water as the Gridiron Sharks are closing in. It's a homecoming extravaganza here at Hero Stadium, as tonight Churchill and Reagan both celebrate their homecoming with identical but unfamiliar losing records. Both are 1-3, and both teams will have to display a much better outcome in order to advance into the postseason, which is just hard to believe, just 5 games away after tonight. I'm Gary DeLong, along with Chase Holly, Mark Witherell, Charles Vickers, Rob Hicks, and Walter Stoops. We are live, and we are miserable beneath the autumn sun rays that are making the atmosphere miserable, and promises to be a night of perspiration, Gatorade, ice, and, as Bob Nolan, the Sons of the Pioneers, once sang, cool water. There will be a lot of liquidity tonight, and the helmets will feel like a wet rock as the heat will permeate through the pads and braces on such a torrid evening. For the Rattlers, they were stunned last week when the Johnson Jaguars staged a comeback to make Walker, Texas Ranger envious. It seemed that the big snakes of Lyndon Hamilton were going to be victorious, but here came the JT boys, Justin Rodriguez and Ty Reasoner. They were instrumental in 2 late scoring drives that presented the Cats with a win over the Snakes. Travis Staley was outstanding at quarterback, but the Rattler baseball star couldn't find enough venom in the snake pit to bring him back to victory. It is indeed a command performance tonight by Old Man Soul, as he's providing a backdrop of searing sunlight this early evening. Chase Holly returns with lineups, toss of the coin, and coaches' interviews when we return to the warmest stage east of Yuma, and we'll be back.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
APIA specializes in real estate investor insurance. For years, investors have struggled managing individual insurance policies. So APIA built a program to put investors' properties under one insurance policy. They've been helping investors save time and improve cash flow nationwide since 2001. APIA has the flexibility to meet the unique demands of both investors and financial institutions. Call in the real estate asset protection experts today, www.apiaprotects.com, or call 877-752-2742.
while some banks are slow to approve auto loans, RBFCU is hitting the gas. With one of San Antonio's lowest loan rates and fast online approval, you'll have more time and money to live life your way. Apply today at rbfcu.org. Subject to credit approval, rates and terms subject to change. Other restrictions may apply. Better rates. It's what we do at RBFCU.
Welcome back, everyone, on GDP Sports here on Facebook. We will be high atop the west side of Hero Stadium as Mother Nature takes a page from global gridiron warming to set the thermometer at a dangerous level. This month promises to be the hottest September in modern weather memory, and the mercury should climb to misery readings again tonight. The Reagan Rattlers are a surprising team at 1-3, and this perennial playoff team will have to find some kind of consistent attack to climb back to the pedestal of playoff hype. True, the top herpetologist, Travis Staley, didn't play in the first two games that the Rattlers lost, but with that 9-3 record of the last season and some experienced seniors returning, Coach Hamilton had some high expectations for the green and white. But the first four games were a tough test to see just how good the Rattlers might be. The Rattlers have speedsters Milam and Ankrum at receivers, and if they can clear out the secondary tonight, the Rattlers might return to victory lane. Coach Ron Harris, probably the most experienced mentor in this city, is in his 5th year at Charger Land and his 40th in coaching football. He only has 2 starters returning on offense and 4 on defense. It is homecoming for both schools tonight, so we'll have a bigger array of colors than at Mardi Gras with the red and black of Churchill and the green and white of Reagan. It's Pom Pom Tom on this last Friday night of September, so come on in and turn up the volume. It's football time in Texas. So we had the interviews, and we talked to Coach Ron Harris first, and we would like to go down and talk to him right now.
Coach Ron Harris, halfway point of the 2019 season. It's not where you wanted to be, 1-3, but the other 3 didn't count. You're in district play, and this is nitty-gritty time.
Yes, it is. We really felt that we had opportunities in 2 of those 3 games that, we could be sitting at 3-1, but we're not. So we have to just try and take the positives from those things and show our kids what it is we need to do to get over that hump and be successful.
And ironically, the Rattlers are in the same position you're in.
Yes, they are. Their record is very deceiving. They've played 4 really quality football teams right out of the gate, and they didn't have Travis Staley for 2 of those 4 games. So, we're both in a very hungry, not desperate position, but if we want to contend for a district title, then yes, tonight is a must win.
When you only have 6 total returnees, you've had to gain a lot of experience in a hurry. Have they done as much as you want?
As a coach, you always want more, but I don't think we could ask more of some of the young guys that have been inexperienced to grow up faster than what they have. We can see improvements week in and week out, and that's what it's all about, is they gain more and more experience. I mean, even though the last couple of weeks haven't been necessarily the result we wanted, we look and throw on the film of what they're doing now physically and technically versus what they did week 1 and in our scrimmage, and they're growing by leaps and bounds, yes.
Ron, when you look at the Chargers and the fact that you don't have a lot of size compared to some of the past seasons, is that going to be a factor, you think?
Oh, I mean, it always is to a certain degree, but it's really not as much about body weight as it is about leverage and strength. So hopefully the work in the weight room we've done will make us competitive, those guys that don't weigh a whole lot. But, if you play with your pads down and play with great leverage, you've got a fighting chance no matter what the other guy's size is.
You've been pretty much in every ballgame until kind of the closing moments. Has it been you've run out of gas, or you just don't have the depth you want, or what?
Like I said, the only game we felt we really were out of, per se, a little bit was Steele, and even then it was just 14-0 at half. It's just about the kids having confidence and belief that they can finish. I think, when it was game 2 of the year down in Corpus, it was 21-16 in the 4th, and we were driving, and then we had an unfortunate turnover, crazy bounce of the ball. And then last week, close to 28-21, we're driving again, and then we have an unfortunate penalty on first down, and so then we're 1st and 20. And, unfortunately, we're not really built for 1st and 20. Not many offenses are. So we've just got to get over that hump and find a way to finish.
Let me ask you this, going back into your career, you've had a great coaching experience career, but when you played center at Cal Lutheran, did you ever go see him film MASH across the way, across the mountains there?
No, we never went to the set and watched any filming there. We did go downtown and watch some, live sitcoms be filmed and that kind of stuff. Old ones that nobody remembers. That's how old I am. Like Welcome Back Kotter and CPO Sharkey and those kind of things. But no, we never went and saw him film MASH.
Conejo Valley.
Yep, Conejo Valley. Little Rabbits.
Well, we hope you can run like the Rabbits today.
We sure do too. Reagan's tough. Coach Hamilton, his staff, and those kids, they're a really solid football team and program. And it's been quite a while since Churchill's beaten the Rattlers. So hopefully we can give them all they want tonight.
Thanks a lot, Ron. Good luck tonight and the rest of the way.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Ron Harris, Churchill Chargers. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
Ron Harris has really had a lot of great coaching jobs. He was head coach at Western Michigan, Western New Mexico, and he's been with Art Briles. As a matter of fact, Art Briles introduced him to his wife, Missy, and that was years ago when he was coaching with Art over at the University of Houston. And he mentioned the age factor. He's almost 60 years old, and he didn't say anything about my age, of course, but people said, Gary, you were so old that you dated Boris Karloff's twin sister. And that's not quite true, but, she was a lot younger than Boris was. But anyway, we didn't have a chance to talk to Coach Hamilton. He was tied up before the game. But we did talk to his top assistant and the offensive coordinator, Tate Damasco, and he was very good in this first interview we've done with him. And let's go down and talk to him. Coach, as we approach the mid-season point of this season, you're not where you want to be as far as record's concerned, but of course only one game has been played in district, so this tonight is a real test for you.
Yes, sir. Churchill's a well-coached football team, and they do a lot of things that put you in a bind. Our mindset is we have to continue to get better each week, and so this is a perfect opportunity for us with 2 weeks coming off to have a really good showing and get us back into this district race.
And actually, even in the non-district, you let a couple get away.
Sure, and you always go back on Saturday and the film's never as good as you thought and it's never as bad as you think, but we did leave some stuff out there, but we also had some injuries and we got to play some kids that are younger, and our offensive line was young, and they've kind of grown up here over the last 3 weeks, and we've been real pleased with them, and so we're excited for the opportunity tonight to get to compete.
How about Staley? How's his arm doing?
He's good. All that, there's 100 different stories about what's going on and all those things. He's fine. The thing is, he's a game changer, and he sees the game through my eyes, and we have a lot of discussions on the headsets when we're off about, these are what we should be doing, and this is what this looks like and all that. And so he's definitely giving us a boost coming back, but as health-wise, he's good.
There was observation by some coaches who were just watching that he was throwing a little high last week and the last week before that. Was that true, or has he changed his delivery?
No, not at all. You got to understand, he didn't pick up a football until the week of the Clemens game, and all of it was precautionary. He's traveling across the United States playing baseball, and he's throwing a lot of pitches, and so we did it out of a benefit to him. High school football is what he really likes to do, but he's got something maybe on down the road with Major League Baseball or University of Texas that we're going to take care of him and give him that opportunity. So he's a little rusty, and he's rusty early, and you can see he gets in his groove throughout the game, and he'll be all right. He'll be good.
Well, I tell you what, if young Ankrum gets loose, I don't think anybody on the field can catch him.
No, and the trick is you got to try to figure out ways to get him the ball. Yeah. And then you have to figure out if they're going to take him out of the game or not. And if they're not, you got to figure out ways to get him the ball. And that's one thing, if you notice, since number 11's been back, that ball's been going to him a lot more. So we got some ways we're going to try to get him the ball. He's got to make the plays. And like you said, when he catches it, he does good things with it.
Well, thanks, Coach, for taking time, and we appreciate it. Good luck not only tonight, but the rest of the way.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for what y'all do for high school football.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You're listening to Frost High School Football.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, If we believe in you, and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Live with the high school toss here at the center of Hero Stadium. We got the toss right here, explaining the coin they're using.
We're going to use that for the coin tonight. The star will be heads, and the back of the coin is going to be tails, okay? Reagan, you're the visitor tonight. You're going to call the toss, correct? I'm going to ask you if you're going to call heads or tails. Tails.
Nope, it's better.
I'm going to flip it. Here we go, guys. And it is heads, so you have won the toss tonight. What would you like to do in the first half? You want to defer? Okay. Churchill has won the toss and deferred their option.
All right, you guys heard that. Churchill has won the toss, and they're deferred. So Reagan will get the ball first.
That is great quality. Thank you very much, Rob. That was just tremendous quality. That's the best quality we've ever remembered having for the toss the coin with the official, and that was the voice of referee Ron Eisger. And then your umpire is Leland Page. Your head linesman is Jim Applegate. Line judge is Scott Andrews. Side judge is Thaddeus Chase. No relation to Chase Holly. Field judge is Michael Frank. And the back judge is Lonnie Reese. We are at Hero Stadium, everybody. We are in a very warm atmosphere tonight. And I don't think you'll have many people getting here until a little later as the sun seems to set over in the west. We are high atop the western sideline, and even when we were down on the field a few moments ago, it was very humid. Looking at the statistics from this past week, of course, if you remember, last week Reagan was 1-2, still in the top 10, but that's not true this week. They have dropped out of the top 10, being at 1-3. Churchill is also 1-3, and last week we had some tremendous displays of talent with Justin Rodriguez and Ty Reasoner as they came from behind to win that game here at Heroes. And it was a great finale. Justin Rodriguez, we were talking about him Sunday with Coach Kamalander, Mark, and he said that kid can really gain extra yardage with his tremendous leg strength.
Yeah, he's going to play on Saturdays next year because somebody's going to pick him up with just, he's not a big guy, but he's got a heart in his chest that's got to be, twice the size because he just does not give up when he gets the football. Number one, he stays low. Number two, he wraps up the football to keep it from coming out. And number three, his legs just keep pounding. So, he was the main reason that Johnson was able to come back last week and take Reagan out in the first district game.
Well, I had all the late stats, and I've cut them out now. That I've cut them, I can't find them. But Justin Rodriguez is averaging right at 8 yards a tote. And Ty Reasoner, he has had some great statistics so far. He has great outside speed, deceptively fast, as they say. And it's going to be one of those nights when the Churchill Chargers have had one major fault, and that is that they have not had any defensive back speed in the last few years. I think that's the latest stats, if you'll take a look at those. Or maybe not. That was today's paper, so that was Tuesday's paper. And for the life of me, I don't know what I did with all those stats that I cut out. What a shame. Anyway, we know that Justin Rodriguez is really he had 264 yards rushing last week, and that's a season and a career for a lot of players. But we are at Hero Stadium, and we are 10 minutes away from kickoff, as Charles said so capably down on the field. Churchill won the toss, and they will kick off and go to defense here in the first quarter. We were conversing a few moments ago about the Rattler big balloon that they trek through as they come onto the field. It's a lot different style. Have you noticed how different it looks from the old days? I'll never forget about 5 or 6 years ago, it was a gust of about 30 miles an hour that night, and it was on the northwestern side of the field. That wind gust took it and blew it all the way past the parking lot.
This one's more of a longer tunnel.
It is. It's a longer tunnel. And the Churchill Chargers now have their own tunnel. It says WC on the side. It's black and red. Of course, the The Snakes are green and white. So it should be an interesting ball game tonight. Ronald Wilson Reagan, 1911 in Tampico, Illinois was his birthplace. President of the Screen Actors Guild, veteran actor, married to Jane Wyman and then later Nancy Davis. Elected as 40th governor of California. In everybody's opinion in Hollywood, King's Row was his best acting role ever, with Robert Cummings and Ann Sheridan. Former sportscaster, and as a matter of fact, he was just elected a few years ago into the Sportscaster Hall of Fame because he used to do a lot of sports when he was in Iowa. They opened in 1999 off of Sunterra. Former head coach Errol Kincaid, former star players Hunter Neely, Marcus Wright, Austin Hayes, Kellen Mond, of course, Ty Summers, and Trevor Knight. Ty Summers, did he play much last night? I didn't get to see if he played for Green Bay or not. Do you know? So the Packers lost to the Eagles last night as the pass was intercepted on the last drive of the game. We are at Hero Stadium. We've given you the officials tonight, and we want to pass on who the people who work just as hard as football coaches. Dr. Sean Micah, of course, is the new superintendent, confirmed Tuesday. Mrs. Karen Funt is the executive director of athletics. The Rattlers is the mascot, silver, green, and black. Lyndon Hamilton, the coach. Brenda Shelton's the principal over at Reagan Land. Band director Dan Morrison. Jennifer Salazar, the cheer coach. Dance coach is Valerie Sisson. And the junior OTC commander, Lieutenant Colonel Chad Livingston. And he's the head guy. For the Churchill varsity dance team, it is Nicole Casey as the coach. Pep squad coach is Victoria Vogler. Band director is Amanda Stevenson. Principal is Todd Bloomer. And the choir leader, the cheerleader is Danielle Torres. And by the way, Mr. Bloomer has a son on his football team. And he will be trading his time between two numbers depending whether they play in offense or defense. So it should be an interesting night for these two rivals. I believe the Rattlers have won the last 12 games. Is that correct, Walter? So they're trying to break that long streak. I'm Gary DeLon, our crew tonight here at Hero Stadium. We'll be back with the starting lineups in just a moment. You're listening to Frost High School football on Gary DeLon Sports Production.
Hard work, dedication, commitment. Qualities that are found on a winning football team and qualities that you should look for in a contractor. Central Builders has conducted their businesses by these qualities for 25 years. The dedication has resulted in coast-to-coast clients who aim to build, remodel, and restore their large and small businesses. Many school districts and grocery chains, such as HEB, have selected CBI as their first string to implement and improve existing structures as well. Call CBI 210-590-0235.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, more than 100 Americans die each day in traffic crashes, and thousands more are injured. If you were injured in a car crash, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious auto accident cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Start your free claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio.
San Antonio, Texas.
Back at Hero Stadium, I'm Gary DeLon, along with Chase Holly, Mark Witherell, Charles Vickers on the sideline, Rob Hicks at the controls, and with the lead in his pencil, it's Walter Stoops. Coach Ron Harris told me, I asked him what his record was, and he's not real eager to tell you what it is because he thinks it should be much better. But they were 5-6 last year, even though they went to the playoffs. First time in many seasons they had made the playoffs. But he is one heck of a coach with a lot of experience, probably more experience than any coach in the Northeast District, and maybe even in San Antonio. University of Houston, my goodness. He's, what is that song? Was it Lynn Anderson? I've been everywhere, man. So that's where he's been. And let's look at the starting lineups. First for the Reagan Rattlers, their offense. Over at left tackle, you'll have Osman Dearmond. He has a great credential from last year. He does a 5 flat in the 40. He is 6'4", 265. Wow. Churchill doesn't have anybody that big to counteract. Guard is Zenon Rudrick. He is a sophomore, 6'4", 310. So that means they've got 575 pounds in the left tackle and guard. My goodness. Center is Casey Cody, 5'10", 265. This is a mammoth line. These are polar bears. At guard on the right side is Aaron Martin, 6'4", 290. And how'd this little guy get in there? Michael Perry is 6 foot and 205. Your tight end or Y back on the right side is Blake Thompson, 6'2", 210. Your Z back, the guy that has more speed than a scared, squat-bellied pig going for a meal, is Staten Ankrum, the son of Scott Ankrum out of the bygone past. He's 6'2", 190, a junior. He runs a 4.45 in the 40. How about that for speed, my friends? On the other side, the X-back is Ronald Milam, 6'3", 190. He is also a senior. So those are your down people. Quarterback is Travis Staley, 6'1", 200, already committed to go to Texas for baseball. Fullback is Jacob Cho, 5'10", 175. Tailback is Jonathan Conwell, a 5'10", 175-pound junior. Defensively, for the Chargers of Ron Harris, you have Aaron Munoz, Ben Miazga, and Jager Collins in the down three, 6'1", 212 senior, 5'10", 242 junior, and 6'3", 212 senior. So he was over on the left side. Munoz had 35 tackles and 3 sacks last year to lead the defense in that 3-4. And then in the linebacking core, Ethan Guardiola, 5'9", 168 senior. He's over at deep cornerback. You have Chris Pruski, 6'1", 186 senior. Aiden Cabrera, 5'9", 176. They are small, aren't they? And then Fabricio Pari, 6'1", 207 senior over on the right side. Your secondary men are Gavin Castro, 5'10", 170 junior, 4'5", 40. Braden Gill, 5'9", 150 senior. He's pretty quick. Aiden Cuellar, 5'10", 166 senior. And then you have Jaquan Anderson, 5'9", 165 senior. Churchill, founded in 1965. Their last playoff appearance, they made it last year. And then, of course, they were in the playoffs 21 times, state champs of 76, 4-7 in 2012, 3-3 in district. Their coaches in history, Ez Corley, the first one, of course, Raymond Rapp, Marv Gustafson, Jerry Cumelander, Jerry Turnbull, Earl Kincaid, Carl Gustafson, Glenn Hill, and now Ron Harris. And on the other side, Lyndon Hamilton, graduate of Luling High School in 1994, played football and baseball for 4 years for the Fighting Eagles. Played football at Texas A&M Kingsville for Coach Ron Harms and Richard Cundiff. He'd been coaching at Rosenberg's High School, Terry High School. Spent 6 years with coaches Tim Teckel and Alan Roberts. Spent 7 years with Neil LeHue at Roosevelt. Last 4 seasons, actually this is the 5th now, at Reagan. And of course Dave Witzel was his head coach at the time, and he was the top assistant to Coach Witzel, who is now administrative assistant and assistant athletic director at Baylor to Coach Rule. So it's an interesting lineup we got, with a lot of experience, a lot of speed, and a lot of tradition for both of these teams. So, Mark, it's good to have you back, and we know that you've been a busy guy. Let's take a pause now for number 1 hit of the world, our national anthem.
Our men and women in uniform throughout the world, and all veterans and first responders, with the playing of our national anthem.
Hero Stadium, that's our scene of conflict tonight. And we are just a few moments from seeing this homecoming activity get underway. Both schools are having their homecoming festivities tonight, so that means we'll probably have maybe a little longer halftime, as both great bands will have a chance to perform here before what should be a pretty good crowd, as the Reagan fans, and Churchill as well, have a reputation of being later rivals.
To say the least.
And Churchill will be wearing its black uniform. You don't see Churchill black and white in many cases. They've got the black trousers, black jerseys, white numerals, the WC on the side of the black and red helmet, the red stripe, of course. So the Churchill Chargers. Errol Kincaid, a former coach at both Churchill and at Reagan. And we expect another typical clash between these two great schools in the Northeast Independent School District.
Yes, we definitely do, Gary DeLon. I'm excited for this game. It looks like it's going to be a great brawl, as I see everyone's very excited on the Churchill side. I'm seeing the same excitement on the Reagan side. So the Reagan Rattlers will start off with the ball after the Churchill Chargers kick it off to them. And Angelo Del Cid will be kicking the ball off.
I never will forget a movie years and years ago with Charlton Heston and Sophia Loren. It was called El Cid. Remember that? No, nobody does.
No, I don't. Was I even alive?
No.
See, that's why I don't remember it. If I was alive, I would have remembered it.
Good clue is if the actors are not alive, then you probably were not alive.
That's true. And that's about 85% of the movies that he tells me to watch.
If you want to watch something great, watch KLRN and the country music.
Yes, that is a very good TV show. Now, that is one thing that you have kind of turned me on to, Gary.
Here's the kick.
Here's the boot. And it's going to be a little pooch kick, and it's going to go down to about the 35, and it is fair caught by number 1, and that is Gabriel Herrera for the Reagan Rattlers.
Yeah, Churchill did not want to kick deep to State and Ankrum, and the Reagan Rattlers had guaranteed looked at some film on that because they were ready, shifted up, and knew that up back knew what to do on that one.
They knew Milam was almost equally fast, and they didn't want either one to handle the ball.
They're going to see plenty of those in the offensive split, though.
Yes, so it'll be Milam on the right and Ankrum on the left. As Stelly puts Ankrum into motion, Stelly's looking over towards Milam, and Milam's running a deep route, and he's got another man, and I think that was Cho.
Yeah, they had Cho on the wheel route, but it was just overthrown by a little bit, and Cho couldn't bring it in over his shoulder, but going deep on the first play of the game for a Reagan offense.
Aiden Quare was trying to match him step by step, but Cho was on the go.
So that'll make it 2nd and 10 for the Rattlers. Stelly's going to have to try to get that ball a little bit down. He's still throwing a little bit high and a little bit too far, but the coach said it was no match and that he'll be okay.
Well, yeah, we asked him about that.
We did ask him about that. So it'll be Ankrum on the right with Milam on the left. Here's Staley handing it off, and he has nowhere to go as he is hit by about 4 Churchill Chargers. And carrying the ball was Cho. Or was it 14? Was it the freshman?
Yeah, Carson Green, that freshman, he's they're going to have to key on him because they saw some flashes of him on the film last week because he was, as a freshman, still out there with the big guys doing a good job.
Jagger Collins was the first one to get into Carson Green on that stack. So we double wide out set right with a single receiver on the left. Here's Staley looking over to his right. He's got a man, and he just throws it way right of Milam. And that'll be a 3 and out for the Reagan Rattlers on the first possession.
I think Carter Campbell was also there.
He was.
Yeah, we may ask Charles about that. It looked like we had 2 receivers in a wrong spot, and I think maybe the pass was where it was supposed to be, one of them.
Yeah, it looked like it was towards Ronald Link Milam there, as Chase said, but just looked like Staley rushed it.
Wow, 44 seconds.
So it'll be punt time, and it's going to be a decent punt, and it's going to roll to about the 26-yard line as it goes dead, and Michael Wade was there to receive it, but he just couldn't get there. 38-yard punt for the Reagan Rattlers. That's not too bad. So now it'll be the Churchill Chargers' turn to see if they can do something on offense against this tough Reagan Rattlers defense, which Johnson tore them apart last week.
We'll have to give you the players as they change so rapidly. We'll tell you the starters in a moment.
So it'll be a double wide out set left with Corson Hastings as quarterback. Here's Hastings as he hands it off, and he is going to be brought down at the 29-yard line, and running the ball was Gavin Castro, or was it 17. Dominic Tellis.
He only weighs 140 pounds. He's a junior.
Only 140 pounds? I weigh more.
Gain of 3.
So it'll be under center snap by Hastings, and here's this power-like football, and it's going to be a handoff, or maybe that was a wildcat.
No, it was.
Or was it a handoff? I couldn't see.
Yeah. I think went straight to
Christian Smith, which is the tight end for the Churchill Chargers.
On the Wildcat, he's also the punter.
So that'll be
still 3rd and 7.
So now one receiver comes out wide left, and that's Braden Gill.
They're going to a 44D.
Here's Hastings looking over to his lineman as number 7 switches from left to right. That's Wade, and here's the handoff to number 24, and he's got the speed, and he's got the first down as he just piles over the Reagan Rattlers. And running the ball was David Resentes.
He's got 4.5 speed, and making the stop on the far side was Lamarck Patterson.
David Resentes definitely has the speed to get to that outside and try to get that first down in that moment. So that was a pick of a 7 for him. So it'll be 1st and 10 as the ball is at the 36-yard line. Here's Hastings as he takes the snap and he hands it off, and he has nowhere to go. And running the ball again was number 7.
Tellis again.
Or was it Tellis?
Yeah.
Michael Wade comes off the field, and Taylor Darius made the stop on that play. 6'5", 215. He's a senior. Here's a hurry-up offense. Double wide out set left.
I think it was Davis Taylor.
As a man goes from right to left, that's the tight end. And here's Hastings rolling to his left. He's looking. He's got a man, but he throws it into coverage, and the Reagan Rattlers just barely missing that interception.
Yeah, they missed it twice.
Jacob Bullock.
Matthew Scannell tipped it up, and another one of the white jerseyed Reagan Rattlers could not get underneath it. They're going to hit themselves on that one. That was a nice defense place, but they just couldn't convert.
Yeah, so like it'll be Garcia, Robinson, Sherrick, Espinosa, and Amatovich. Are you down, people? Smith, Hastings.
So it'll be single receiver on both sides. Here's Hastings rolling to his left. Now he's looking back over to his right with a little bubble pass, and ooh, that looked like a late hit.
Well, the pass was intended out on the flank.
They're calling it incomplete pass.
It was to Dominic Tellis, and he was racked.
He was racked on that flank.
I think it was Matthew Scannell who made the hit.
Yeah, that's close to that. He was right there in front of the referee, and I'm surprised a yellow flag didn't come out on that one.
I thought it might.
So it'll be Braden Gill to punt it away for the Churchill Chargers on 4th and 10. 8 minutes, 37 seconds left in the first quarter as they will be kicking downwind. And here's the rugby-style punt. Gary DeLon's not a big fan of it, but it's going to go pretty far, and it's going to roll
with the wind
all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Oh, my goodness.
What a great punt with that rugby style. It's not very often that you see a good punt out of the rugby style, but he might have something there.
59 yards. That was Angelo Del Cid, even without Charlton Heston. That was a beautiful kick with the wind, of course. All right, now we go back to the Reagan offense, and the white-clad
Jersey team comes in with their green trousers.
With Stelly at general.
Casey Cody is over the ball.
So it'll be single receiver set both sides.
Strong side left.
And here's Staley handing it off to Carson Green. Oh, actually, that's not Carson Green. That's number 4. That's Jonathan Conwell. Pick up a 4 for him.
Munoz.
So that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Minasco.
Yeah, being stuck
Collins.
this far back by your own end zone, that's going to force you to do some running. And I think they need to establish a running game here. They got a big offensive line. Let's get some holes done and get some momentum going.
2nd and 6.
So here's Stelly. As he takes the snap, he hands it off. And he has nowhere to go.
A great stop, boy, making the surge in the middle of that line. And it was the linebacker over on the left side, Cliff Pruski. This is a critical time for the Rattlers.
Last week, Carson Green had on these neon yellow cleats, and now he only has on the black ones.
Staley, you know, that one pass was a little bit high, as we discussed before the game.
It was, and the coach said it was nothing wrong, but you never know. So it'll be single wide out, set right. Here's Staley as he drops back to pass, and he's being pressured, and he throws it way high over Ankram's head. And I just don't know. That's going to be a 3 and out, and it'll be punt time in their own end zone. 7 minutes, 3 seconds left in the first quarter. This is dangerous territory.
7:03. They had the ball less than a minute early. Now they've had it about 121 this particular possession. Wow.
You know, all 3 of his throws have been pretty high.
So it'll be kicking
High
from my
snap.
left to right, and here's the pressure, and it was maybe tipped, but it's going to roll to only the 48-yard line.
48-yard line, so 40 yards, not bad against the wind.
That's not bad against the wind, especially when you're getting pressured by 3 Churchill Chargers in the backfield.
Churchill goes from our right to left, which is south to north.
So this will be another chance to see if they can maybe gain some first downs and get into that scoring territory.
Garcia, Robinson, Sherrick, Espinosa, Amatovic, and then Christian Smith out on the flank.
Double wide out, set right. Here's Hastings as he hands it off. And that's Wade running the ball, and he gains about 5 yards on the carry, making that 2nd and 5.
And it was, I think, looked like Jack Davis making the stop, along with Sean Jones.
So as we see Braden Gill going out wide left, accompanied by number 5, and that is Nathaniel Viegel. And here's the handoff, and he is totally crushed as he has nowhere to go against that Reagan Rattler defense. And that's Tellis running the ball. So that'll be no gain for him, and the stop was made by Roberto Sada.
Let's go down to Charles.
Yeah, I think, guys, if they're going to have any success, they're going to have to mix it up a little bit more and disguise those, just the different runs. I think Reagan saw a run coming that whole time, and they were able to snuff that pretty easily.
So it'll be 3rd and 5. Here's Hastings as he rolls to his left, and he's got a man, and he is caught, and he evades the tackle, and he's to the 20, and he's pushed out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. What a great catch by Nathaniel Vigil, or Vigil.
Nathaniel Vigil, 6 foot, 180-pound senior. And boy, does that set up great field position.
That sets him up for great field position, and not only that, but they got out of that.
And it's a 24-yard gain, another first down. The Chargers have something working here.
This will be Braden Gill out left with Christian Smith out right. Here's Hastings as he looks over. He sees an oncoming blitz, and here's as he puts the man in motion. He hands it off to Wade, and he's only going to get about 4 yards on the carry.
Michael weighs 160 pounds.
Or maybe. So that'll make it 2nd and 6 for the Churchill Chargers as they are approaching scoring territory with 5 minutes, 8 seconds left in the first quarter.
Jaden staggers in on that last tackle.
So Nathaniel Vahil will go out wide right, and here's the handoff to Tellis, and he's going to gain about another 2 yards on the play as he runs it through the center with those linemen pushing back that Reagan Rattler defensive line.
5'9", 140 pounds, wringing wet. And he may be wringing wet by now, as humid as it is on the field. 4:40 to play here in the first period. The Chargers are driving.
Driving with momentum, too.
School that opened in 1965 under Ez Corley. Teammate of Grant Taft, Joe Bill Fox, and Bobby Jack Price.
Here's the snap, and it'll be Hastings rolling to his right. He's going to keep it. He's got the first down as he steps out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. Man, the Churchill Chargers are driving tonight. And that's Sean Jones on the defensive play to push him out of bounds. So that'll be a pickup of 6 for Hastings with 4 minutes, 18 seconds left in the first quarter.
First and goal at the 6, Chase.
Nice job of Hastings being patient there and looking for the opening.
That's it. They go and try to get more in that down 4. Now they go into a shifting 5-man front.
So it'll be Braden Gill out on the wide left as Nathaniel B. Heel goes from left to right.
Somebody may have moved.
And here's Hastings handing it off, and that's number 24 running the ball. And that was David Resentes as he punches it in to get it to about the 2-yard line.
And again, it was Jones having to come up from inside linebacker. So it's 2nd down and goal from the 3.
Braden Gill and Nathaniel Vahil going out wide right. Here's Hastings.
A shifting D now.
With the under center snap. Here's Hastings as he hands it off to Resentes as he's into the end zone. What a great drive by the Churchill Chargers. 3 minutes, 36 seconds left in the first quarter. What did you think about that, Gary DeLon?
Well, I thought that, Churchill doesn't have the size that Reagan does have. But on that play, 287-pound Cross Garcia was the man of the hour. He opened the door. 287 and he's 6'2".
Here's Dulce to put it through, and it's going to be up high, far, and good to make it 7-0. 3 minutes, 36 seconds left in the first quarter. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
Every family wants the assurance that their most valuable possessions are protected and secure for the future. That's why you need the most insurance coverage that budgets can afford. Even though his company is headquartered in Texas, John Lester is expanding his company from coast to coast. He has recently added several major insurance companies to better serve his growing clientele. You are protected from hurricane, fire, auto accidents, even a polar bear attack. John Lester once played linebacker for the Bastrop Bears, knows the importance of insurance. Call John Lester's Insure 1-210-541-9771.
Back at Hero Stadium, where the Churchill Chargers have just taken advantage of a short field, going 8 plays, 48 yards in 3 minutes and 14 seconds. A 2-yard run by David Resentes and an extra point that was good makes the score 7-0 for Churchill.
So now it'll be the Churchill Chargers' turn. They'll cede in command to kick it off to the Reagan Rattlers, and I predict that they will do another pooch kick so that they don't have to kick it to Ankrum and Milam. They are moving up and they're getting ready, and so now he takes a pooch kick and going back a little farther now that the 25-yard line is received, and the Churchill Chargers are going to gang up on him and take him down.
There was a real Charger scrum on that play.
And returning that ball was Carson Green for the Reagan Rattlers as he gets up from the pile. So now it'll be the Reagan Rattlers' turn. Maybe Stelly's going to take that ball down a couple notches and try to get into Milam and Ankrum's hands. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it just seemed like the Reagan, or that offense on the Reagan sideline just doesn't seem to have anything clicking right now. They just got to get a couple things going and start rolling. Otherwise, 100%. They'll be looking down again.
So it'll be Staley as he hands it off to Carson Green.
Wow.
No hole open for him there, and they've got that giant Rattler offensive line.
So now that'll make it 2nd and 9 for the Reagan Rattlers.
Aiden Cabrera was in on that tackle, along with Jager Collins.
So Link Milam will go out left.
Only picked up a yard.
Here's Staley.
They dot the I.
Takes the snap and he hands it off to Cho. Oh no, it's a fake handoff to Cho, and he's got it, and he hands it off as he pitches it to Carson. He's to the 40, he's to the 35, and he's finally brought down at the 30-yard line. And that was a great fake by Staley, and taking him down there was Jaquan Anderson.
First time they've got taken advantage of Carson Green's speed, got him on the outside of the numbers, and he was off to the races. Lucky that didn't go for bigger yards, even though it was a great play.
33 yards and first down. Big drive at the 30.
Link Milam on the right. Here's Staley handing it off to Carson Green once again, but he has nowhere to go this time as 2 Churchill Chargers are there to meet him. One of them being number 47. That's Fabrizio Puri. And that's Eric Munoz. So that'll make it
2 minutes to go.
9.
2 minutes in the first quarter.
This quarter's going by fast, Gary DeLon, as there's a lot of running and not a lot of passing. Here's Staley as he takes a snap and he fake handoff, and he's got a receiver, and it is caught by Link Milam, and he is brought down at the 15-yard line, giving them the first down as they trek on this drive. That's Arden Queller. Aiden Queller.
That's first pass that was on target to the receiver by Staley tonight.
Maybe Staley's trying
until
to
that pass, he'd been the missing link.
So it'll be Link Milam on the right with Ankrum on the left. Here is Staley handing it off to Cho. And he's going to drive those legs and get to the 11-yard line on that run. So that'll be a pickup of 4 for him. And making that stop was Aiden Cabrera.
Going back to that catch by Link Milam, and not to make reference to Gary's phrase that he used there, Link did a nice job of turning his back and controlling that and giving the nice target.
Well, he was a good hands with Allstate on that play.
Here's Staley as he hands it off to Carson Green. He's going to punch that hole, and he's going to try to get through, but he can't. And so that'll give him only a gain of 2. So that'll make it 3rd and 5 for the Reagan Rattlers. And on that play was Braden Gill and Jagger Collins making that stop for the Churchill Chargers. Of 2
25 seconds and counting here in the first.
For the Reagan Rattlers.
7-0 Churchill.
As the clock keeps ticking.
Now they break the eye.
They might have time to get in one play before the quarter ends. Here's Staley. As he takes the snap, he's looking to his right, and he's looking to the middle, and he's got a man, it's caught, and he's into the end zone. And making that catch was number 9 for the Reagan Rattlers, and that was
Carter
Campbell.
9-yard touchdown pass to number 9, Campbell, as he came across on a drag right across the middle. The protection held up for Staley, and he was able to hit his receiver. Touchdown, Reagan.
And they squeeze it in the first quarter with just 8 seconds left in the first period. They can tie it with the PAT.
And as we await the boot.
Fast-moving game.
Carter Campbell holding, and here's the boot, and it is up high, far, and good to make it 7-7. Churchill and Reagan tied with 8 seconds left in the first quarter. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Back at Hero Stadium, where the Reagan Rattlers have just tied the score, a 7-play, 64-yard drive 3 minutes and 19 seconds off the clock as Carter Campbell takes an over-the-middle pass from Travis Staley, and the 9-yard pass play makes it 7-7. Reagan and Churchill tied up.
A night of pomp, pageantry, pom-poms, and pigskin performances, my friends. And we are bringing it to you on GDP Sports Production, thanks to Facebook.
Thanks to Facebook, and it'll be Hernandez to kick off for the Reagan Rattlers, and it looks like he's going to punch it deep. Here's Hernandez with the boot, and he's going to be going against the wind, and it's going to go all the way into the end zone, and he's going to take a knee. And receiving that ball was, I think, Braden Gill, and it was.
Yeah, he's a speedster.
He is a speedster. That's why he's on the wide left or wide right on the offensive plays.
Back on this date in 1954, and not too many in this booth are old enough to remember, but I do, it was the debut of The Tonight Show on NBC. Steve Allen was the first host, and he was married to Jane Meadows, by the way. Do you know that he was a great piano composer? You remember the movie Picnic with Kim Novak? I do. William Holden. He composed the theme song from Picnic. Well, you know.
Here's Hastings as he hands it off to number 17. That's Tellus. And that's going to be the end of the quarter. Or no. Why does it say?
It is.
Oh, okay.
First stanza's over. 7-7 Heroes Stadium on a humid, sweat-filled night here between these two great teams in 27-6A NAISD. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
In 1984, high school students were dancing to the song Hey Mickey. That same year, Sherry Armstrong opened Mecca Sportswear to provide those students with quality leather jackets along with all district and all state patches. Well, now, 3 decades later, Sherry and her family are still providing custom leather jackets and award patches to South Texas' greatest student achievers. Call toll-free 844-HEY-MECCA. Hey Mecca, 844-HEY-MECA.
Back at Hero Stadium where the score is tied up 7-7 between the Reagan Rattlers and the Churchill Chargers. Some first half stats. First downs are tied at 3 apiece. Rushing yards for the Reagan Rattlers 44, while they've passed for 23 for a total of 67. Churchill's got 34 by way of the ground and 25 by way of the air for a total of 59. For third downs, Reagan is 1 of 3 and Churchill is 3 of 4.
So it'll be Churchill Chargers as their 2nd and 8. Here's Hastings as he hands the ball off, and it is going to go to Wade. Or no, it's going to go to number 9. And running the ball for the Churchill Chargers was Michael Doughty. Or Doty. Michael Doughty. No gain for him, so that'll make it 3rd and 8.
We had a penalty a moment ago, too, at the end of the quarter.
Here's Hastings as he fake hands off and rolls to his right. He's getting pressured, and he's going to get brought down. But he threw the ball away just in time.
Well, the blitz was on. It was just a great rush, a great read on the rollout pass. And the guy that put the pressure on him almost had him as he was chasing him toward the goal line, and that was Roberto Sada.
Yeah, Sada pretty much had him in his sights the whole time there, Gary, and was able to really wreak havoc on that play.
First time 3 and out for the Churchill Chargers, so that'll make it 4th and 8. And here's punt time. And Braden Gill will be punting it away shortly with that rugby-style punt. Let's see if he can put it as far as he did last time. Here's the punt.
Oh, it's almost blocked.
And it's going to roll backwards, and the Chargers need to pick that one up. But it's going to be marked at the 46-yard line.
Only 22 yards before Chris Pruski, the tight end linebacker at 187 pounds, had all 187 pounds, cuddling the ball to kill it right there, but it's a very short punt at 22 yards.
Yeah, that idea of that rugby-style punt does two things. It lets because the punter is holding on to it a little bit longer, it lets your coverage get down there. but you're hoping for a bounce. And the first time they got it, the second time it did not happen the right way.
At the 46, 1st and 10, left to right, south to north, and the Rattlers have it out of the snake pit.
So it'll be Staley in command. Here's the snap as he hands it off. Or no, he fake hands off, and he's going to throw downfield. He's got Ankrum with that speed, and he's to the 10, the 5, and he's into the end zone. 54-yard touchdown pass from Staley to Ankrum to make it 13-7.
Man, he took the throwaway to Buddha and stopped off with the House of Pies in style. And, he had to wait. He was running so fast, the ball caught up with him eventually. He showed that 4.5 speed, didn't he?
He did show that 4.5 speed. He's definitely got the boosters, and when he gets the ball, it even gets faster.
6'2", 190.
10 minutes, 59 seconds left in the second quarter as we await the boot. And here's the kick, and it is up high, far, and good to make it 14-7 with the Reagan Rattlers in the lead. 10 minutes, 59 seconds left in the second quarter. You are listening to Frost High School Football.
In 2017, more than 4,700 people were killed in crashes involving large trucks in the U.S. Semi-trucks, which weigh 20 to 30 times as much as passenger cars, can cause severe injuries in the event of a wreck. If you were injured in an 18-wheeler accident, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious trucking cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Start your free claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio.
San Antonio, Texas.
Back at Hero Stadium, where the Reagan Rattlers have just taken the first lead of the game with a one-play, 54-yard touchdown pass from Travis Staley to Stanton Ankrum. Once again, Reagan 14, Churchill 7.
Mariano Esnada was the guy that tacked on the extra point, and 10:59 to go. What a way to open the second period, huh?
Well, let's give some credit not only to Ankrum, but he was able to get right into the middle of that two-deep coverage, and Staley hit him in stride for that touchdown.
And when he hits it in stride, you might as well say it's a glide because he had an easy time.
So here's Hernandez with the boot, and he's going to kick it deep with that wind at his back, and it's going to go into the end zone, and it is caught, and it's going to be ran out by Braden Gill, and he's got room. He's getting to the outside. He's to the 30, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
Got a flag, probably coming back.
Yeah, right by me. The linesman threw it.
He only weighs 154 pounds, but he was flying with the wind, and fortunately didn't have any help. 33-yard return. That's a shame when the kid looks that good.
That definitely is a shame. When you can, it's either you get penalized or you take the knee. And I don't know what they should have done there. Maybe they should have taken a knee because they would have been at the 25, and now they're going to be starting at about the 9-yard line. Nope, 6. 8-yard line.
Man, half the distance to the goal. Yeah, he was at the 33. He's at the 8, so it's 25-yard minus.
And that really hurts. So it'll be Hastings trying to pull them out of this trap.
He's deep in the well without a bucket.
He takes the snap and hands it off, and I can't really tell who that is.
Yeah, probably did not get back to the line of scrimmage.
And running the ball was Tellis.
And Darius Taylor, 6'5", 215. He manhandled him.
He manhandled him.
This offense that Churchill's running is predicated on some real quick hitting plays,
quick
trying
hitters
to get into that line of scrimmage before the defense has a chance to shed blocks.
Now Reagan into a 5-man front.
Single receiver out wide left. Here's Hastings as he hands the ball off in the reverse direction. And that was Resentis, and he's going to be brought down at about the 3-yard line.
That's a heck of a play. Heck of a play there by Matthew Scannell. He shed the block and got back there and made that tackle for loss.
Loss of 6 yards.
Now I got to say, Matthew Scannell, linebacker out there, wearing a great number 30. Just
Is that your number in high
I'll
school?
go on record as saying that's a great number right there.
It also means the end, too. You know that in journalism.
So we double wide out set left. Here's Hastings handing it off, and it's going to be a
Safety.
Yep, that's what they're giving him.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. They're saying he was outside his forward progress.
Yeah, a couple of them are going to discuss it. We got
Darius Taylor.
Yeah, Charles, you saw it. One referee doing one thing. Let's see what they call.
Well, I saw the head referee immediately behind the play called the safety.
Okay.
And the line on the Reagan sideline called it a safety right away.
Well, it was a safety. And that's 2 points, so it makes it 9-7.
Yeah, so Coach Harris, of course, is going to address that as much as he could, but there's not much he can say. There's two referees saw it one way.
Well,
and I would agree with him. I don't think he ever came close to getting out of the end zone.
He didn't. No, he looked like
3-yard loss?
He set up tent down on Broadway. You know, we said a while ago it was the anniversary for the Tonight Show with Steve Allen. Well, today is his longtime wife. It's her birthday. Jane Meadows, born in 1919. She's been gone a long time.
So they'll be punting into the wind with 9 minutes, 23 seconds left in the second quarter. Kickoff.
So Reagan will get the ball right back. My. Not what Ron Harris wanted on this particular series.
And here's the boot. And it's going to be going to the 31-yard line. It's received by Ankrum, and that's the worst person to have it in his hands. But he only gets to about the 49-yard line. 18-yard return, though, for Ankrum.
Staten Ankrum.
He's got the speed that his dad did back when
Not quite.
I wasn't alive. Right?
But Scott could fly with the John Jay Mustangs, I'll tell you that. Reagan 9-3 last year, 6-1 in district.
So it'll be Link Milam out wide left and Ankrum on the right. Here's Staley as he hands it off and running the ball, and as he drives his legs, he'll get down to the 46-yard line, and that's Jonathan Conwell running the ball.
And the guy that made the stop in that Churchill D was, well, he saved maybe a longer gain. That was Aiden Cabrera again.
So same formation here. Staley handing it off to Conwell, and he trips over the turf, it looks like. I don't think anyone had a hand on him. He just got his feet caught up in the mix. So that'll make it 3rd and 2.
Some substitutions taking place. Ankrum comes back in at wideout on the right side.
With Link Milam and Carter Campbell on the left side. 8 minutes, 19 seconds left.
3-man Churchill front. 3-3 basically.
Here's Staley. As he takes the snap, he hands it off to Carson Green. And Carson Green's got the room. He's got the first down and more. As he's brought down at the 34-yard line. Aiden Cuellar making the stop for the Churchill Chargers, making sure Carson Green didn't run for 6. So it'll be 7 minutes, 53 seconds left in the second quarter, going from my right to left. 1st and 10. Here's Staley. As he takes the snap, he hands it off to Jonathan Conwell. And Conwell, there's a flag on the play, but Conwell has the first down.
Stutter stepped his way again as Aiden Cabrera had to make the stop.
Motion. Illegal motion.
Legal motion.
No.
Well, that is one-way Churchill.
Initial signal was illegal motion, but I guess holding would trump that.
Yep.
So that'll make it 1st and 20 for the Rattlers.
They're beginning to take over now, Charles.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go to the air, though, right here.
I wouldn't either. And Ankram's out on that wide right side with accompanied by Carter Campbell, and Link Milam is isolated on the left.
Last year, Staley was 1,950 yards through the air.
And here's the snap as he fake handoff, and it's going to be a keep by Staley, and he's going to get up to...
Gets all the way down to 34.
35.
He should have a first. No, it's going to be still 9 yards short.
Yeah, that's that original line of scrimmage, basically.
Almost as if Staley was trying to be very careful.
He followed the block of Aaron Martin over at right guard, 6'4", 290. Who couldn't follow that?
As he's protecting that shoulder and arm. Here's Staley as he takes the snap. He's looking to his left. Now he's rolling to his right. Now he's going to be going out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
And he's chased out of bounds. They didn't have enough field left, so he's chased out of bounds.
Yeah, kind of an unusual offensive set there. They kept maximum protection in there for Staley and only sent 2 receivers out in the pattern. And Staley couldn't find them even after rolling out to the right.
3rd and 5.
This is a 3rd down conversion, very important. Here's
Strong side right
on the left. Ankram isolated on the right. Here's the fake handoff, and it's going to be Staley keeping it. He's got room. He's to the 20, the 10. He's going to put on the burners. He's in the end zone.
There's a
flag.
flag.
There's a flag. Flag on the play at the 10-yard line.
Staley turned on the Jets too, didn't he?
That zone read, he did an excellent job of faking the defense, but it looks like a hold downfield is going to keep that from being a touchdown, but still going to be first down yardage as Staley took it in from 30 yards.
Yeah, it was a 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, it was holding way down the field. You know, the line of scrimmage was the 30 and the hold was down at the 10.
So the ball will be placed at the 20.
Well, this is an anniversary. It fits right in with me, I guess. In 1970, the original Amateur Hour aired for the first time on CBS.
No, Gary, you are a professional. You are a professional.
So it'll be Link Milam going out on the White's left side with Ankram isolated on the right. Here's Staley as he hands it off.
Oh, what a great tackle.
That was a great defensive play, bringing down Conwell in the backfield, and that was Jagger Collins.
The 6'1", 212-pound senior defensive end on the right side.
So that's going to make it 2nd and 13 with 6 minutes, 10 seconds left in the second quarter.
2-yard gain.
Not a lot of beef on that defensive front four for Churchill, but there's definitely some speed and agility.
They have great quickness.
They're shooting gaps and getting in the backfield and wrecking havoc right now.
So it'll be trip set right with the single receiver on the left. Here's Staley as he takes the snap. He's looking to his left. He's going to keep, and he's got nowhere to go, and he's going to be rushed. And he's still on his feet. No one's bringing him down. He's finally brought down.
Close to a first down. He may have it.
No.
No, he's still, I'm sorry. He's after the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, kind of a play where he was designed to look at one receiver and just nothing developing there at all. It kind of looked like a broken play.
3rd and 9.
So now the Reagan Rattlers are in the same predicament with 5 minutes, 20 seconds left in the second quarter, as they're going to have to try to punch it in for a first down or maybe a touchdown on this play. At least trying to get to 1st and goal. So it'll be Ankram on the left with Link Milam on the right. Here's Staley looking over to Carter Campbell, and Carter Campbell catches it and runs out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
I think that's enough.
And I think that's a first down.
That's enough to move the chains.
And pushing him out of bounds was Gavin Castro with a 4.5 speed on the 40.
It's too late, though. First and go.
Well-designed play there because State and Ankram and the other receivers took the defenders deep with them into the end zone, and Staley waited for the Campbell receiver to come over and make a play right late.
Well, Churchill's going down to almost a 7-man front.
Staley going under center. Here is the pitch back to Jonathan Conwell, and Conwell's going to try to go on that outside right, and he's into the end zone. 9-yard run to make it 22-7. 4 minutes, 52 seconds left in the second quarter.
We didn't have the speed on Conwell, but he's got to be another 4'5", 40 man because once he gets outside, no one can catch him.
No one can catch him in Carson Green. So they've got a couple threats in the backfield, and they really do take advantage of that.
Boy, they can motor.
They can. As we await the PAT to see if the score will go up 1 point. Here's the boot. And it is up high, far, and good to make it 23-7. 4 minutes, 52 seconds left in the second quarter. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
Every San Antonio family has a dream to live in their own castle. There's one San Antonio real estate expert who can fulfill that dream, and he has provided many wonderful kingdoms for hundreds of home buyers in South Texas. Chris Collins of RE/MAX Preferred has been the realtor selected by families that want to make that dream a reality. He'll provide the expertise and confidence to purchase the home that's your address for future happiness. Call Chris at RE/MAX Preferred 210-213-2432.
Back at Hero Stadium, where the Reagan Rattlers have put 23 unanswered on the board since Churchill first scored, but Reagan on a 10-play, 52-yard drive, 3:46 off the clock in the second quarter, as Jonathan Conwell takes the ball in from 9 yards out, making the score Reagan 23, Churchill 7.
So it'll be the Reagan Rattlers' turn to boot it off to the Churchill Chargers to see if the Chargers can do anything in the 4 minutes and 52 seconds left that are in the second quarter.
Yeah, definitely all the momentum's over on that visiting side of the field with the Reagan Rattlers.
As you can see the student section all standing up. Here's Hernandez with the boot, and it's going to be a line drive down to the 2-yard line, and Braden Gill catches it, and he's going to be going up to the 22-yard line on the reception and run.
He had one man to beat on the outside, just couldn't do it.
He couldn't. But 20 yards is better than nothing with 4 minutes, 44 seconds left in the second quarter. Let's see what the Churchill Chargers can do. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 22nd
Yeah,
yard.
they haven't made a first down this quarter after they looked so impressive on that first drive, but of course there was an adjustment made by the defensive coaches for Reagan. So let's see what happens in this drive.
Hastings going under center as the tight end goes from left to right. Here's a snap as he hands it off to a man in the backfield. And he's got some speed as he keeps the legs churning, trying to get the first down, but he's going to be brought down a yard short of the first down marker. And that was Wade running the ball.
160 pound, he looked tougher than that. He's 5'9", he's a senior.
So that'll make it 2nd and 1.
His longest run of the evening at 4:19 to play here in the second period.
Churchill is definitely going to be looking for another score before they go into the locker room for halftime. So it'll be Nathaniel Vihil going out towards the right. Here's Hastings.
He just changed the play at the line of scrimmage.
As he takes the snap and he hands it off. And he's going to try to gain that 1 yard. And I think he's going to get it.
Yeah, carrying the ball was Resentis. He has 4.5 speed, but he hadn't been able to get outside yet. Only 5'9", weighs 141 pounds.
They call on Resentis whenever it's a crunch play or they need a power punch. So that'll be a first down for the Churchill Chargers as the clock ticks down to 3 minutes, 39 seconds left.
34-yard line, Churchill territory. Equidistant from the sideline markers.
Hastings changing the play. Here's Hastings taking the snap under center, and he hands it off. And that's now going to go to number 5 on the carry, and that is Nathaniel Vihil.
He's 6 feet 180, so he has about 40 pounds more than the young man that just carried it a minute ago.
But they all have speed in the backfield. It's just about getting to
the
the outside.
They have offensive speed, but thus far they've been able to stay step by step with the Reagan receivers.
No, definitely not, and they haven't been able to get to the outside successfully. It'll be Christian Smith going out wide left. Here's Hastings as he hands it off to Resentis. Resentis trying to get to that wide left. He's got it, and he's going to get the first down as he turns those legs. He's definitely got the 4-5
The ball
speed.
comes out, but they ruled he was down when he went out of bounds at the 47. It's going to be a first down. A good run by the youngster on a 9-yard pickup.
And there's going to be an injured Charger down. on the 36-yard line.
The young man that got him out was Matthew Scannell, or Scannell. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I think it's Scannell. So it will be a first down and 10 with an injured player, 2:46 to play. And while we have this temporary timeout for a young man who's hurt, let's take this break. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
Coming home means a lot of things to a lot of people. It's a place where you can kick off your shoes or even kick it up a notch. As the #1 mortgage lender in Texas for credit unions, you can trust RBFCU when buying your new home. We'll be there for you every step of the way. So whether it's buying your first home or financing your forever home, you can count on us to make your dream come true. To apply online and for complete details, visit rbfcu.org. Some restrictions may apply. Loan subject to credit approval. RBFCU is an equal housing lender.
You don't have to be a frequent flyer to know the best rent car location in San Antonio. Budget Rent Car is a locally owned company that provides a fleet of new automobiles and a staff of professionals who have served the thousands of travelers who want quick access to the airport, reasonable prices, and available quality vehicles. That's one name that stands out in the San Antonio rental business. Budget Car and Truck Rental on Sandow Road, just east of 281 North. Phone 210-824-0737. Budget Car San Antonio.
Chris Espinosa shaken up. Looked like an arm injury. He's helped off the field under his own power. He's a 195-pound junior, so Leo Amatovich will be coming in for him at 6'2", 240 junior.
As the tight end switches from right to left, here's Hastings handing the ball off to Wade, and Wade is going to try to crack, and there's a flag on the play.
Could be a hold.
Wade's trying to punch those holes, but the linemen for the Churchill Chargers are just not open enough, a big enough hole for him to have time.
Well,
it's going to be a holding call on the Churchill
Here's
Chargers.
your one of the defensive reasons why. 205, 255, 240. And then 185, that's your down group for Reagan. Especially when you got to outrun the defenders on the Reagan side, and they got such great quickness.
So it'll be Hastings under center.
5-man front.
Here's Hastings rolling to his right. He's looking for a man, and he's got a man, and it's caught.
Nice diving grab by the big fella on the right side.
To take it down to the 47-yard line.
It was just a good read in the secondary, and it was Ethan Woods. By the way, Charles, you'll recognize this name. He's 6'4". His name is Ethan Woods. And his dad had to be a basketball coach. The son of Tim Woods, who was associate athletic director.
Nice. Well, athletics running the family. Good hands there by Ethan.
Minute 45 seconds left in the second quarter. Here's the handoff. And he is just going to be absolutely pummeled by 6 Reagan Rattlers. And to get there was Lamarck Patterson.
Yeah, he read that before the ball was handed off.
Resentis running the ball on that carry. So it'll be 3rd and 4.
And he had no place to go.
3 of 6 for third down conversions for the Churchill Chargers, with a minute and 13 seconds left in the second quarter. Here's Hastings as he rolls to his right or to his left, and he's going to throw downfield to that tight end, but the tight end is just going to be tripped up. And it looks like there's a little commotion over there on the far side of the field.
Well, Churchill got away with a little bit something there after a little extracurricular activity.
Christian Smith was the intended receiver.
He looked like he was using his hand to get up, and the hand just happened to be on the defensive back's face.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you just
have a notion.
Excited.
Yeah, Jacob Bullock was not too happy with that.
I wouldn't be either.
22 yards on his last punt, so here it is again from his own 38.
And remember, it's the rugby-style punt.
We have a timeout for Churchill's going to be given a 5-yard penalty. Too much time. Oh, my.
So that'll back the ball up to their 48-yard line. And the punter, which is Braden Gill will be punting from about the 31. Here's the punt. That's not Braden Gill, that's someone else punting. And it's not the rugby style punt anymore as it rolls out of bounds at the 20-yard line. 32-yard punt for the Churchill
I think
Chargers.
The kicker this time was Christian Smith, it looked like, as he was back deep to punt the ball.
That's the first punt he's had of the game.
It was a left-footed punt.
Ooh, he's a lefty.
Who else in his crew is a lefty? I want to know.
I don't know. He might be sitting right next to you, Gary DeLon. I'm very unusual.
You can say that again, grandson.
I'm very unusual.
There was a penalty on the play, apparently, because they're walking it off. We haven't had the signal yet. We're getting it now.
As the head judge comes in.
Churchill just doesn't need another penalty. They're hurting themselves.
And Ron Harris said in the interview that there was one game where the penalty did hurt them when they were driving, and they happened to lose that game. So it's just trying to correct mistakes, maybe not have as many of them. So there will be 53 seconds left in the second quarter.
23-7.
Trip set right, single set left. Here's Staley handing it off to Carson Green, and Carson Green has nowhere to go as he is met by two Churchill Chargers.
Yeah, and he felt that all the way down to the number on his jersey. That was a tough hit.
So they're going to give him a gain of 1, so that'll make it 2nd and 9. As there's a trip set left now with a single receiver on the right. Here's
the right guard pulled out of his stance too soon.
It was Ben Miazga on that last hit, number 95. He weighs 245. Imagine that stung a little bit.
Both teams, 4 penalties for 30.
4 penalties, 30 yards on each side of the ball. But right now the scoreboard belongs to the Reagan Rattlers, 23-7.
And as I see out of the corner of my eye to the right, I see the parents walking with the dance crew. So I think it might be parent night.
On homecoming night.
Or homecoming night.
Timeout. 25 seconds. We'll keep it right here. And we had a nice visit with John Davis before the game, talking about some of the old officials. Barry Morris came by. And Buddy McGee, I'm not sure Buddy's working this game tonight. But the young officials today are a different breed from the old guys. They didn't get a whole lot of money. They did it for the love of the game.
What's the difference, Gary DeLon?
Well, the difference is you can't find a young guy today who wants to be an official.
Oh, that's very true.
On 1983, on this date, Larry
way more than that, especially as good of a shooter he was.
The contract made him the highest paid Celtic in history.
Really?
Chase, if you're interested, go on YouTube and look at some of the Larry Bird legend stories that they have. That guy was amazing, and all the players that played with him.
The pass, as he looks to his right, he's got a man. And the man clock.
It's going to give Reagan an opportunity probably to throw the ball at least towards the end zone. One last chance to score.
You just can't lose your poise. Personal foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct. I know who.
We saw the retribution. We may not have seen the first part.
Yeah, we saw the aftermath of the initial contact. So we'll keep it right here. There are so many things that are going on in the world today, and that's why it's so necessary that we consider the church of your choice this weekend. This isn't the Vespers hour, but I just think it's time that we have some serious discussion with the man upstairs, because the men on the stairs in Washington don't seem to know.
No, not at all, Gary DeLon. Not at all. I agree with that 100%. And you know where I'm going to have my church session?
No.
Right in the middle of the pasture with my lawn chair and the bonfire.
So you're going to go to Cordillera and watch George Strait play golf,
Nope,
right?
I'm going to Pearsall to dove hunt.
Oh, well.
Change of plans. You heard about Cordillera. I'm not going to Cordillera anymore. I'm going down to Pearsall to dove hunt.
Oh, you be careful, because you could ruffle some feathers down there.
Oh, I know. So it'll be punt time for the Reagan Rattlers with 11 seconds left in the second quarter.
Last play of the quarter, probably.
And it's going to go down to Wade, and Wade catches it, ill-advised, but he's going to get through. And
for 5
he's going to
yards.
be brought down at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, he caught it with the sole intention of maybe breaking a play there.
Every player's dream, Mason Polanco, stopped him at Blanco. 3 seconds on the clock. 23-7. The Chargers will have the ball beginning of the third quarter.
You guys mentioned halftime is featuring the homecoming presentations by both teams. The theme for the Reagan Rattlers is The Great Gatsby.
Ooh.
Is Robert Redford here?
And he is not. And the theme for the Churchill Chargers is Hollywood.
Hollywood. Remember that?
All right, for Hollywood.
Yep.
They're going to take a knee.
Is it the Texan Great Gatsby, though? Because I see a lot of cowboy hats.
No, Robert Redford was a little different.
Here's Hastings dropping back to pass. He's got a man on the flanks, and he's going to go to the 40, and that's
Tellis has stopped at the 40 to end. He gets almost I think he did get the first down, so he'll get a statistic out of it, but that ends the quarter. And the first half is history, 23-7, as they go to the dressing room to try to adjust. But it's a big deficit for the Chargers to overcome. We'll be back with halftime palaver and homecoming festivities here at Heroes Stadium. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Dr. Eric Kuhl played high school football, and he knows the importance of keeping your body in good condition to maintain perfect health. He also realizes that a portion of that health is maintaining dental hygiene. In today's society, your teeth are as important as eyes and ears. Gum disease can lead to other physical problems, and Dr. Eric Kuhl can advise, counsel, and demonstrate the best methods of dental maintenance. The office accepts most dental insurance policies, and you'll find a new friend, compassionate doctor as well. Call Dr. Eric Kuhl for an appointment at 210-496-1711 on 281. And don't forget, it's cool to have a great smile.
Some people know me by Smitty. Most people call me Mr. Smith. One day I went to Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union. Ever since that day, I developed a relationship with Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union that was second to none. I like RBFCU because they create a stress-free environment. It's all about relationships.
Better banking. It's what we do at RBFCU. Join today at rbfcu.org. Membership eligibility required. Written terms subject to change.
Play the real estate investment game smarter by putting APIA on your team. They are the secret weapon for investors who own 5 or more rental properties. Their custom-built insurance policy allows investors to place their entire real estate portfolio under one policy with one renewal date. Real estate investors win by saving time and improving their cash flow. Call in the experts today. www.apiaprotects.com or call 877-752-2742.
transportation, manufacturing, oil and gas, and agriculture were among the most dangerous industries for workplace accidents. If you were injured in a workplace accident, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious workplace accident cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Start your free claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio.
San Antonio, Texas.
Whenever a young driver leaves for school, a game, or drives to the mall, parents want a peace of mind knowing where their youngster's located any time of day or night and when they'll be returning home. GPS of Texas provides that parental peace of mind with the high-tech tracking technology provided by Blake Stevens Company that can trace a vehicle that device. Call Blake at 210-587-7634.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Back at Hero Stadium, where the halftime score in this district matchup is the Reagan Rattlers 23 and the Churchill Chargers 7. A scoring summary of the first half goes in this direction. Churchill starts off with an 8-play, 48-yard drive. Takes 30-14 off the clock. 2-yard touchdown run by David Resentes makes the score 7-0, and it looked good for Churchill at the time, but it's all Reagan since then. Reagan gets the ball back and goes 7 plays, 64 yards in 3 minutes and 19 seconds on a gets the ball. It only takes 1 play for Travis Staley to go 54 yards on a touchdown pass to Staten Ankrum, and the score is quickly 14-7. After that, the Churchill team got a penalty on a kickoff return where the returner was able to get out past the 30-yard line, but the penalty brought them back to their own 7. 2 tackles for loss later, the last one a 3-yard tackle for loss, and Reagan had a safety, which made the score. Reagan went 10 plays, 52 yards, 3:46 off the clock. A 9-yard touchdown run by Jonathan Conwell makes the score at halftime. Reagan 23 and Churchill 7. And Walter, you know, I think the stats may be a lot more close than this score
they're
is.
They're a little lopsided on Reagan's side, Mark. 6 first downs for both teams. Rushing for Reagan, pretty consistent, rushing for 98 yards and passing for 87.
The time of possession, it's very close. Reagan actually doesn't have the ball as long as Churchill. 12:16 off the clock for Churchill and 11:44 for Reagan. And just to me, and I think Charles will talk to him in a second as well, I don't think that Churchill offense has a lot of explosiveness. I think they've got to methodically go down the field, and when Reagan makes them 3 and out, it falls into their hands.
They've got to get some breaks, and that's why there's coaches up here in the press box talking to the coaches down on the field, and you can make adjustments pretty quick.
Well, as we're sitting here at halftime, the Reagan band is coming on. I guess we believe there's going to be some homecoming festivities. We'll go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll come back with some halftime scores from around the area. This is Frost High School football.
In 2003, while playing in a football game for San Marcos Academy, Chris Canales, already offered a college scholarship, was involved in a tackle that transformed his life forever. He suffered a spinal cord injury and was left physically paralyzed, but Chris didn't allow the debilitating injury to affect his involvement with football. Since that time, Chris and Eddie have formed Gridiron Heroes, and now they have the support of many of the college coaches around the country, an organization helping players and families recover from catastrophic injuries. Gridiron Heroes. You can contact them at www.gridironheroes.org or call 210-849-9250.
Coming home means a lot of things to a lot of people. It's a place where you can kick off your shoes or even kick it up a notch. As the #1 mortgage lender in Texas for credit unions, you can trust RBFCU when buying your new home. We'll be there for you every step of the way. So whether it's buying your first home or financing your forever home, you can count on us to make your dream come true. To apply online and for complete details, visit rbfcu.org. Some restrictions may apply. Loan subject to credit approval. RBFCU is an equal housing lender.
In 1974, it began as a small printing company. Most efficient, high-tech, and graphic equipment in San Antonio. Maybe you need to print up a business plan for your next venture, or you might need a new marketing brochure for a top client. Ray's been involved with planning and designing such things for many, many years. His business cards are true marquees for business, professional, and personal use. That's Eagle Print, located at 8938 Broadway, north of Loop 410. Call 822-1908.
As you wander through the catacombs, an athletic director, former Churchill Charger star basketball player of 1980.
Is a long stretch.
Well, let me put it this way. When I first saw you, you were about 6'4", weighed about 172 pounds, and now you're still 6'4". I know how much you weigh.
Yeah, some people are twice the men they used to be, and I resemble that.
Well, a while ago we mentioned your name because we said the pass was complete out in the Flat to Woods.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
That's my youngest son. He is a senior. Ethan plays tight end. He's a long snapper, and he does all the snapping.
Boy,
for
that's
points.
ensured his position for a long time to come.
He has worked on that with Doug. He's apparently, not that I would be any expert on long snapping, apparently he's fairly accomplished.
He's getting some looks at colleges to get a scholarship.
He actually is.
You know, kids don't think that's a very glamorous job, but the Cowboys a few years ago had a long snapper that was 36 years old. He's still with them. Who was it? Oh, he's still there? What's his name? Do you know, Charles?
That's it.
It's unbelievable. You cannot find him today, you know, even sometimes the holder is just as valuable too. But anyway, I was glad to see him catch the ball.
Oh, it's my wife and I are up there watching. It's just exciting, and it's exciting anytime he's out on the field.
Is he about 6'4"?
No. He's probably almost 6'3", probably, but. The size-wise, you'd probably say 6'2", 220.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
which is a good size
kid.
for a
Absolutely.
deep snapper. Yeah. And Doug Connery probably has the best deep snapping school in the state of Texas. He had 5 guys 2 years ago get scholarships to Division I schools.
Well, I would be a perfect person to advertise for Doug. He's been wonderful with my son, has been tremendous with the work that he's given him, and his level of progression has been off the charts.
How did he get started as a deep snapper? Why did he get interested in it?
Well, I'm going to take about that much credit on that one, and I hope this doesn't sound bad, but my son and I, he wanted to play basketball. I was a basketball coach. He wanted to play basketball, but he tends to have more of a body for football, and that his older brother's 6'7". And so there's a little bit of a difference there. But I have to say this. Ethan, he's a senior. He's only 17. He won't turn 18 till July. So he's
still growing.
He is still growing. Yeah. But I told him, and you can just say this was the coach in me. I told him that, son, you're going to be a middle-sized, middle-speed white kid. There's about 8 million of y'all trying to find a position out somewhere. You better come up with something if you want to get out on the field. Or you can stand there and cheer your teammates on. You can do whatever you want. And believe it or not, when he was probably in, I want to say 6th or 7th grade, Doug had a free camp. Doug said, bring him out. I'll work with him. Ethan went about 2 times, and he said, Dad, I just don't think that's for me. I just don't think I want to do that. And I was like, no pressure. That's fine. And now my son is a math guy. He's a math guy. That's what he is. And he processed it for about 3 or 4 months, and then he came back and said, "You know what, Dad? I think I want to try the deep snapping again." And he's been deep snapping ever since. And,
it's a great way. If you're one of the best, you can just about name your college, I'll tell you that. And then, as Charles just said, the Cowboy kicker is still there. I mean, deep snapper, and he's, 36 or 7 now. So, and let's go back a little bit into history when you talked about that 82-83 team. John Williamson, Tim Woods, Gary Highland,
Pat Hymel, John,
and the little guy,
Willie Baker.
Yeah.
Let's see. You're going to make me have to come up with these names that I haven't talked about in a long time. Let's be honest. I don't belong with those guys. I was part of the team. I'm very happy to be part of the team. But let's see. Wally Kennel was on that team.
I did a couple of the games. We were doing the game at Blossom Athletic Center when you advanced to the state.
And the shot that Gary Highland hit,
yes.
I mean,
Sam Houston, I think.
Yes, against Sam Houston.
Yeah.
It was from the top of the key and banked it in to win the game, or we don't even get out of the city,
I know. And then
much less win the state.
You have to beat Galveston Ball,
again,
which is a team of really great basketeers, and you beat them in Austin to win the state championship.
And we had beat them to win the Jowers tournament earlier in the year, so we had actually beat them twice that year.
And that was so much fun, and it
was fun being a part of that team.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I've coached a lot of teams. I've been around a lot, but those guys were they were tremendous. And I'm going to tell you, Gerald Adams was our coach before Bobby Murphy got there. And Coach Adams deserves a lot of credit
for bringing those kids up.
He was a defensive-minded coach, and you took all those guys, those kind of athletes. They could shut people down, and Coach Murphy was more of an offensive-minded coach. Yeah. And Coach Murphy had it was just such a great blend. He opened it up, and off we went.
And I remember the night that Churchill won the state championship, and I was at courtside. I think Rudy was with me, and Eddie Morris was doing the engineering, and Mo Aguilar was doing stats. And Pete Murphy came up after the game and was crying because Pete had been diagnosed with cancer, and he was not given a very good prognosis, and it was a very emotional night. I did like 4 or 5 state championship games in that series. You had Fox Tech winning a state championship with a guy named Brown.
Right.
Bell, I mean.
Bell.
Bell.
That's right.
And then Brown was the outside shooter. Then you had Fort Sam Cole High School with Shaquille O'Neal. You had Churchill. And there was John Jay later.
And then Lanier later. Did Lanier win it? I don't know if Lanier won it, but I know they went twice.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, those are reminiscences that we like to think about and talk about. And it was so much fun to see those games and to just be able to remember them. That's a blessing for me.
Your memory's even better than mine, Mr. DeLon, always has.
So, and we were also talking about these two teams here. Reagan, of course, Earl Kincaid, and David Wetzel. We had
David Wetzel.
He was at Quarterback Club 2 weeks ago, and David wants Chase to go to Baylor very much, but he did.
Guys, you just can't hardly be around him without being.
And Skyler is now playing ball at Baylor. Did you know that?
And the youngest son, who I believe is at Waco Midway,
is going to go to Baylor.
He's going to go to Baylor too.
And
Ethan went up to their specialty camp.
Oh, he did.
And snapped for him. And
I hope he goes to Baylor.
And I don't know. You know what? Honestly, I just hope he has an opportunity just so he's a part of something.
Yep.
I mean, you got to be a part of what you do. And it's college is very special. I got to play a little bit of basketball over at Texas Lutheran, and just to be a part of something, connect to the school. That's why Churchill is always such in somebody's heart. Any high school is. You're connected and you're a part of something.
We'll be back with Coach Tim Woods, Assistant Athletic Director here at NEISD, but we've got to take this time out. It's halftime, 23-7. Churchill trailing.
Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Motorcyclists are 26 times more likely to die in a crash compared to other motorists. Motorcycle accidents can cause severe injuries from road rash and broken bones to spinal injuries, brain injuries, and death. If you or a loved one were injured in a motorcycle crash, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious motorcycle accidents and gets serious results for injured clients. Start your free claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio.
San Antonio, Texas.
Football has a long list of decorated heroes, yet it's the heroes that we encounter every day off the field that often make the greatest impact on our lives. For more than 75 years, BCFS has been a beacon of hope for children, families, and communities throughout Texas and around the world. Whether it's on the front lines of disaster response, providing profits, making a profound difference in the lives of millions around the world.
Homecoming
Company
for
cars,
Churchill
truck.
and Ronald Reagan, and you talk about a lot of history for both of these schools. Of course, Churchill opened in 1965. Ez Corley was the first coach, then Raymond Rapp, and then Marvin Gustafson, and Jerry Cumberlander, and then Earl Kincaid, and then it was Carl Gustafson, and then Glenn Hill, and now Ron Harris. And of course, at Reagan it was Earl Kincaid, and then Dave Wetzel, and Tim Woods is still around. He was a great basketball player. He doesn't think he was, but he was, because he helped win the state championship. And let me just say this before you go back upstairs. This is not a good start for 27-6A that we expect or have been so accustomed to.
I love our coaches, and I love the job that they do with our schools.
But you have to coach kids. If you don't have the kids coming in, you're not.
And that's exactly right. And I know, and I'll just use Churchill as an example. They may not have all the gifted athletes that they've had in the past. And you know what? And my son's a part of that. But I can also tell you that I watch the games, and those kids are involved, and they're having a great time, and they are all into that.
And they're all very good scholars.
And they're fantastic on that. And I'm going to throw my son in there. He's in the top 6% of his class.
Wow.
They've got a bunch of those kids like that down there, and they're all in. And I'm going to tell you, they're in games. They may not win them all the time, but they're in them, and that's coaching. That's coaching.
Well,
and those kids will run through a wall for those coaches.
Johnson looks impressive. Roosevelt looked really good, and then of course they got knocked off the next week. And you've got, and now this is just my opinion here. Reagan, Madison, Johnson, Roosevelt. To me, that's the four that will be playing in the postseason. Who knows?
Hurts my heart, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
I really do. And I think, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say this because the running back for Johnson, he's the real deal. He
Justin Rodriguez.
That's for Johnson, and then the running back for Roosevelt, he's the real deal. And I think
Rashad Owens.
That's going to be that'll. I think personally, that's going to be for the district championship.
I think you're right, and. You got so much speed on this field. Staten Ankrum is only a junior, 6'2", 190. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
And the other kid, Link Milam. Oh.
I played against Ankrum's dad. My senior year, we played Jay in by district. And
you watched him run by, right? And John Jay was primarily an African-American school. A guy named Burr Henderson. And James Gupton, I think, was the track coach. I'm not sure. But anyway, Ankrum was anchoring the 4x100. And some of the coaches, some of the parents whose sons were, of the fast speed, they said, "Coach, why is that white boy anchoring the 4x100? And he said, "Come to practice tomorrow." So they did, and, he burned everybody. And they said, "Coach, we understand why." So if he hadn't had that leg injury, he'd been an all-time star in the NFL, in my opinion.
I've never seen anybody on a basketball floor go from one end to the other faster than him. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a great athlete. Tim Woods, he's been a long-time member of the Northeast staff, associate athletic director. And, I was around so often that I think I got Terry Peel to retire. And he just got tired of talking with me. So But it's good to see you, buddy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lund. It's always a pleasure. You are, I know I've told you this a million times, you're just a legend in my heart. And I know you're a legend everywhere else, but you're a legend in my heart. You're just a wonderful guy.
They told that to Humphrey Bogart. He's been gone quite a while. But good to see you, Tim.
You bet.
We'll be back with Charles, Walter, and Rob, and Chase, and Mark in just a moment. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
APIA specializes in real estate investor insurance. For years, investors have struggled managing individual insurance policies. So APIA built a program to put investors' properties under one insurance policy. They've been helping investors save time and improve cash flow nationwide since 2001. APIA has the flexibility to meet the unique demands of both investors and financial institutions. Call in the real estate asset protection experts today, www.apiaprotects.com, or call 877-752-2742.
While some banks are slow to approve auto loans, RBFCU is hitting the gas. With one of San Antonio's lowest loan rates and fast online approval, you'll have more time and money to live life your way. Apply today at rbfcu.org. Subject to credit approval, rates and terms subject to change. Other restrictions may apply. Better rates. It's what we do at RBFCU.
Hard work, dedication, commitment. Qualities that are found on a winning football team and qualities that you should look for in a contractor. Central Builders has conducted their businesses by these qualities for 25 years. The dedication has resulted in coast-to-coast clients who aim to build, remodel, and restore their large and small businesses. Many school districts and grocery chains, such as H-E-B, have selected CBI as their first string to implement and improve existing structures as well. Call CBI 210-590-0235.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, more than 100 Americans die each day in traffic crashes, and thousands more are injured. If you were injured in a car crash, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious auto accident cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Start your free claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio.
San Antonio, Texas.
Every family wants the assurance that their most valuable possessions are protected and secure for the future. That's why you need the most insurance coverage that budgets can afford. Even though his company is headquartered in Texas, John Lester is expanding his company from coast to coast. He has recently added several major insurance companies to better serve his growing clientele. You are protected from hurricane, fire, auto accidents, even a polar bear attack. John Lester once played linebacker for the Bastrop Bears, knows the importance of insurance. Call John Lester's Insure 1-210-541-9771.
We're back at Hero Stadium as we see the Reagan Rattlers run out onto the field. Out. Mark, what do you think is going to be changing in the second half? What do you think is going to be happening? Who do you think is going to happen?
Well, Reagan went into that halftime with the momentum, and Churchill has to do something. You know, they won the toss. They defer to the second half. They're going to get the ball first, and they've got to do something on this first drive, if you ask me, for them to even think they've got a chance of coming back in this football game.
That offensive drive that they were trying to do, it just wasn't really working out. Reagan Rattlers defense was really beating them on offensive plays, especially from the outside. They're going to have to do something about that. Maybe try to get more towards the outside instead of the inside, because they were doing a great job of that. You never know. Our speeches by the coaches really ended well. Similar to this day.
Well, I can tell you the other side of that story is, too, you're winning and you get yelled at, too, at halftime. So it's not.
You're not doing good enough.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get some halftime scores from around the area before we get to kickoff of the second half.
Roosevelt and Madison are tied at 14. South San leads MacArthur 14-6. East Central is trailing the New Braunfels Unicorns 17-20. Steele is behind Clemens over at the 3009 shootout 9-14. Judson, actually last update I just got, 55-14 over San Marcos. Smithson Valley is leading New Braunfels Canyon at halftime 30-7. And Alamo Heights, we haven't got a halftime score, but the last update we had was 14-0. Brandeis and Brennan, both of these schools are undefeated. And Brandeis is leading Brennan 28-7. And last and not least, Lavernia is leading Rockport Fulton 34-12.
Here we are. We just saw the kickoff by Hernandez as he booted it into the end zone, and Braden Gill was there to receive it and take a knee. So now the Chargers will be at the 25, trying to left to right, maybe scoring. So Hastings will be in charge of this Charger offense.
I think Tellis needs to have
Braden Gill set wide right. Here's Hastings intercepting this Tellis. Tellis has nowhere to go as he is banged by 3 Reagan Rattlers. Getting there on the first. 35 from the Reagan Rattlers. That is.
Got to do something if you're Churchill to get something going here.
Definitely do. Maybe they should turn away from this one. Now we're like offense. As the tight end goes from left to right. Right out is Braden Gill. Here's the handoff by Hastings. And still, there's nowhere to go. And that'll make it 3rd and 10 for the Chargers. Definitely not what they wanted coming out of halftime. Now we're just over here trying to get through that middle. The defensive line for the Reagan Rattlers are just pushing hard back.
Yeah, so far the halftime adjustments for the Churchill offense not doing anything, not fooling the Rattlers in any way. This third down's big here.
So this is going to be that 3rd down conversion that the Chargers either make or break. Here's Hastings on the way out set right. Rolls to his right. He's looking at Braden Gill on that little out pattern, and it is thrown way in front of Braden Gill. And it's going to be really good at
39 seconds in.
39 seconds. Chargers have a ball back.
That's just not what you want if you're Churchill and wanting to get back in this football game. Now your defense has to make a stand just to keep it at a 23-7 lead.
That'll be the Reagan Rattlers' turn on offense to see if they can have another scoring drive, and if they do, well,
Yeah, 2 of Reagan's scoring drives tonight are just a little over 50 yards, so they've been getting the ball for their offense right at midfield a couple times tonight, so another short field here for Reagan.
wide right, Milo on the wide left. Here's the handoff to Carson Green, and he's going to keep pushing those legs, keep on churning down the field, and that is going to be placed at the 37.
You know, there's a reason that Carson Green, as a freshman, is out there for this Reagan offense, and you see it there is he hit the hole quicker. He looked like he had a little more confidence, and definitely he fell forward as he was getting tackled.
He definitely did. That just shows me that the little freshman has really stepped up to that leadership position of being that starting running back. Here's the handoff again to Carson Green as he's pushed right back out.
And we hexed ourselves and we hexed Carson Green there because he went into the line of scrimmage and fell backwards and fell down. So no gain, and his knee went down and he went down, and there's where the ball's going to be. So we hexed him with all that good stuff.
Double wide out, set right, single set left. Here's a new quarterback in, and he's going to throw it way low. The intended receiver, I think, was Carter Campbell on that right side. And put it in. And that's Lance Lawrence.
Unusual as to why they've changed quarterbacks this early in the second half. I mean, a 23-7 lead is good, but I wonder if there's some other things over there on Staley.
You know, the coach was very difficult about talking about Staley showing change topics. But he did say that Staley showing was okay. You never know. Here's the boot. And that's by Luke Hoggett. And it's going to drop down at the 30 and roll out of bounds. Hello, Gary DeLon. How are you doing? 31-yard punt for Luke Hoggett. So now it'll be the Chargers' ball.
Reagan didn't have the ball a minute either.
They didn't have the ball a minute either, Walter?
Nope.
Yeah, 2 3-and-outs to start this second half here at Hero Stadium. Once again, score Reagan 23, Johnson 7. Or excuse me, Churchill 7. Churchill's second offensive series of the second half. Yeah, Charles, I mean, you're Churchill. You want to do something. You sure as heck don't want to go backwards again.
No, they've got to eliminate the small mistakes and concentrate on just doing something to mix things up a little bit.
Didn't get it off. Didn't get it off. Delay.
Yeah, mark it at the 24.
Good hands.
Had two guys in the area there, Smith and Vigil. Both of them were open.
Yep. Yeah, Christian Smith showed some great hands there and some great concentration as he went to the ground hard and still kept the ball. Move the chains.
Keeping, but it just looked at busted play. I think you're right, Walter. So the ball, loss of 1, so the ball will be marked at the 38-yard line now.
Yeah, Churchill's offense able to overcome that 1st and 20 and pick up a first down, so maybe they can get some confidence off that little positive there.
Maybe they can. Maybe they're going to start driving here, trying to get to that end zone. I know that's what they want. 7 minutes, 33 seconds left on the clock. Here's the handoff, and carrying the ball is Resentis again, but he is just stopped in the backfield. And that defensive line is just getting back there every time. That's number 44. That's Roberto Sada. Loss of 4 for the Chargers. So that'll make it 3rd and 15.
3rd and 15. They're 3 of 8 third downs.
I think this name is very significant in today's history.
What is that?
Thomas Nast, back in 1840, a political cartoonist, created the Republican elephant and the Democratic donkey.
Yes, he did.
And that's a lot to ride.
See, I actually know that one. Here's Hastings dropping back to pass. He's looking to his left. He's got a man. That's Braden Gill making the catch with those great hands out there. But that's the first catch for him, but it's just not going to be enough. So that'll make it 4th. And punt time. No gain on that. Or maybe no. They got what they got from the penalty. Or the losses, actually. Not the penalty, but the losses on the play. 5th punt for the Churchill Chargers as Braden Gill's fixing to get ready to punt it away. 6 minutes, 16 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Here's that rugby-style punt again. Gary DeLon, you hate it. But it's got a good spiral on it this time. It's going to go down to the 31-yard line. Fair caught by Luke Hoggett.
30-yard punt.
30-yard punt for old Braden Gill with that rugby-style punt.
On this date in 1998, Mark McGuire of the St. Louis Cardinals set a Major League Baseball record when he hit his 70th home run of the season.
Rattlers as Carter Campbell comes out wide left and Ankrum on the wide right as there's a new quarterback in. Staley's not going to come out, I guess. I guess he's done. So here's the handoff, and running the ball is either Conwell. It's Jonathan Conwell. The freshman came off for a couple plays as Link Milam enters the field, and Luke Hoggett comes off. Pick up a 5 for the Reagan Rattlers, so that'll make it 2nd and 5. 5 minutes, 48 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Going from my right to left. Here's the double wide out set left with a single receiver on the right. Looks like Carter Campbell is isolated on the right. Here's the snap, and it's a quarterback keep. And that is number 12, Lance Lawrence. Game goes on. 3rd and 2. Pick up a 3 for him. 4. He quarterback keeps, and he takes it in as he dives, and that's going.
That's 5. Just enough.
He's going to get.
And let me tell you why he made that first down, because number 73, Zenon Rudrick, a sophomore at 6'4", 310, opened the door. You could have driven an elephant through there.
Yeah, this Reagan offensive line has 2 freshmen on the left and 2 sophomores on the right, so they're playing for the future.
Look out next year, yep.
Double wide out set left. High snap,
that ball
and it's going to be
popped up in the air.
Caught by Jonathan Conwell. The O-line keeping that defensive line from getting that ball.
Well, Collins made the stop. Jaggers Collins.
4 minutes, 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter as that clock keeps on ticking. The Reagan Rattlers trying to run that clock down as the game goes on. 2nd and 11, going from my right to left. Here's the Reagan Rattlers. Single receiver on the left, single receiver on the right. As we dot the I in the backfield. Here is Lorenz as he hands it off. And he's got room, and I think running the ball is Green. That's that freshman stepping up, Mark.
Yeah, Green hit the hole very quickly there, and able to turn on the Jets before you knew it. He was already at the linebacker level, and a good gain sets up a short 3rd and 3.
Cabrera made the stop. We'll go down to Charles after this next play.
Green, 12 carries, 60 yards.
Green for 12 carries, 60 yards. 60. Here's the snap. Making that catch was number 45, new receiver on the field. I'm loving this. That is Michael Davidson, tight end.
Let's go down to Charles as he's been watching this transition.
Well, hey guys, Reagan looks like they're taking a little bit easier this half with Staley on the sidelines. We don't know what his condition is, but obviously Reagan's not afraid to move the ball with the personnel they have out there.
1st and 10 at the 40.
Here's the snap as he's rolling to his left now, he's getting pressured, and he's sacked in the backfield for a loss of 7.
And the blitz was on. Big 9-0.
The blitz was on.
Eric Munoz, 212, 6'3".
So that'll make it 2nd and 17, Gary DeLon.
He had 3 sacks last year to lead the Chargers and 35 tackles.
Wow. That's great. 2 minutes, 25 seconds left in this third quarter. It's going fast.
No score.
No score. No. Single receiver on the right. Here is Lorenz as he hands it off to Carson Green. Carson Green trying to find that hole, and he's got the loss of yardage and more. So that'll be a pickup of... Well, that was a penalty.
He had just one guy to beat there, and Churchill's Chargers were able to make a stop, but...
3rd and 8.
So this is that 3rd down conversion that the Reagan Rattlers are going to have to either punch in or throw. Double wide out set left. Carter Campbell in that mix. Here's Lorenz looking over to the sideline now, telling Carter Campbell scoot in. Here he is dropping back to pass. He's looking over. He's got a man in the middle. That's Carter Campbell, and he is, I think, going to come up short.
Yard short, but they'll go for it at this position.
Yeah, they will definitely go for it. Pick up a 7 from that pass from Lorenz to Carter Campbell.
Yeah, they needed 8, but they got their offense still on the field.
Chris Pruski made the stop, saved the 1st down, but they've got, golly, just about 18 inches to go.
So they're probably just going to try to run it in real quick as that O-line pushes. And here's the handoff, and that's Carson Green. He's got the handoff.
Yeah.
And the 1st down.
Got 3, needed 2. Or needed 1, actually.
Needed 1, got 3. That's
Churchill's beginning to fade a little bit, Charles. You can tell that they're not the stronger team right now.
Well, that big offensive line is going to wear you down, throughout a game, and it's starting to show right now. And the defense has been on the field an awfully long time tonight.
They got the ball at the 6-0.
And that's Link Milam, but he just throws it a little bit over his head. Could have had it, but looked uncatchable.
Now, Lorenz was the starter for the first 2 games with Staley out, correct?
And that was Jaquan Anderson putting that pressure on Link Milam. And what'd you say, Mark?
I say Lorenz has been in there first 2 games this year because of Staley not have injury.
Yes.
So Lorenz is the backup, but he's had some playing time already this year.
Yes, he has.
And he gets rid of the ball in a hurry, too, if you've noticed.
He does. Double wide out set left with the single receiver on the right.
5'9",
Reagan Rattlers push from our right to left. Here's the handoff to Carson Green. He's got the 1st down and more.
Man, he's jet quick, goes inside the 20.
He got hit, grabbed off an extra yard. Definitely Churchill.
Man, I tell you what, he had better. He had better blocking than the armed escort from Miranda Lambert on that play.
That ball for 6 minutes pretty.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Back at Hero Stadium, where we enter the 4th quarter the same way we entered the second half, as the Reagan Rattlers on top of the Churchill Chargers 23-7. Some quick halftime or third quarter stats. Reagan 10 first downs to Churchill 7. 241 total yards for the Reagan Rattlers, only 120 for Churchill. 5 of 10 on third downs for Reagan, 3 of 9 for Churchill. Some penalties hurting Churchill as well, 6 penalties for 40 yards. And Reagan will start the fourth quarter inside the red zone at the Churchill 19.
Carry number 14, Green, all the way down to the 12-yard line.
Yeah, it just Reagan offensive line is able to assert their will on that Churchill defense right now. And just like Charles said, you can't just get these big guys on you all night without starting to give in after a while. He came rolling over with the ball, but there's definitely a flag, but I don't know what the result of the play is before the flag.
And they're going to discuss whether he caught the ball or not, but the ball hit the ground from my vantage point. Yeah, the Reagan offense is lined up to no, I think they're going to discuss it, but I think the Reagan offense knew that it was not a complete pass. There was definitely a pass interference, though.
Pass interference in the end zone. The pass was incomplete. The ball will be placed at the 3-yard line. First down, Reagan.
After the penalty.
That's 7 penalties against Churchill for 50 yards now, and that makes it 1st and goal for Reagan. Churchill's got to pull a rabbit out of the hat here in order to keep from going down by a bigger score. Yeah, just pure power football here, looks like.
Green with the carry, takes the ball down to the 1-yard line. Houston Chargers there with the stop. Second down and goal.
Play clock's getting down.
Scoring update at halftime at South San Antonio. MacArthur 6, South San 14.
That is Reagan's first time out of this half.
And over at Edison, between Wagner and Edison in the third quarter. Wagner 62.
When you get a chance, Gary, what's the reason they named Churchill after him? He died the same year it was opened.
Lost the ball out. Ball's out. Churchill's got the ball. So the line judge right by me called it.
That seemed like the only way they were going to get Reagan to keep from going in is pop the ball out and Wade. Yeah, gain of 5 gives them a little breathing room out of the shadow of their own end zone there. What's that with Madison's score? It was tied a little while ago.
Just got an update. Madison 17, Roosevelt 14, third quarter.
Out.
Nice job by Gill of making the defender miss on that first attempt. Yeah, Sean Jones right there, the linebacker, read that play well and snuffed it. He ran right into a green and white wall.
Yeah, he had it over his shoulder with a DB right in his face, but as soon as he went to the ground, that ball popped out the other side, so an incomplete pass brings up third down where they were 4 of 10.
Well thrown ball. Smith just went up with one hand.
You know,
tried to corral that in.
Charles, I agree with you 100%. I just don't understand why this is not more of a passing offense. They've had some success tonight throwing the ball.
Vigil. Talk to his mom, Gary. It's Vigil. She did say that the proper pronunciation is Vigil, but they go with Vigil. That was a great job by quarterback Hastings keeping that play alive.
Yeah, but he was getting ready to get rocked by Price Yates. He was if he wouldn't have been hurried, he could have waited a little bit longer, got his feet up underneath him, and that would have been a touchdown. But Yates came off the right side of that offensive line and was able to get pressure.
And Braden Gill was tripped up there with the defender. Couldn't get free.
I do like this wide open offense by Churchill. It seems like it's a whole lot more competitive. Yeah.
Late penalty.
Yeah, late penalty flag from way downfield, thrown into the secondary.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist from the offense. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Receive it down.
Yep. That's
Thank you for supporting your EISD program this evening. Incomplete. Intended for number 88, Ethan Woods.
He had 3 people out in patterns right there, but really no one wide open.
Gary about 10 yards, but he was close to breaking it if it weren't for that one DB.
Intended for number 36.
Yeah, Christian Smith had a chance to catch that ball. They were both tussling back and forth with the hands, but good no calls by the referees. But Churchill just comes out empty again.
Hot ball with the carry from the Rattlers. Stop defensively by the Chargers. Number 86, Chris Brewster.
6'1", 270 second Shark game. You can tell that the Churchill D is beginning to fade just a little bit. Even with Allen, Shark.
Rattler, first down. Defensively, it was number 2 playoff for the Chargers. That's enough yardage for a Rattler. First down.
That's just a horrible feeling when you're the Churchill defense right now. You're looking up at a scoreboard you're not happy with, and the other team is just gashing you. You can't get the ball away from them, and you can't stop them either. Just helpless feeling.
There's still no points in this half.
Yeah, you're definitely at somebody's mercy in that situation.
Nobody scored this half.
There's a balance on the strong side of the way. Waits the snap.
94 moved.
With the procedure will cost the
94 moved.
Good ball. Play of game. The offense. 5 yards from the previous box. To kick it down.
We got a Friday and Saturday game that week, I believe.
Making the stop.
That is Churchill. First time on this half.
Yeah, the pre-district was not good to either one of these teams, and last week Reagan came up short against Johnson, and they had to turn it around. I mean, they were one of the favorites going in, and they had to do this.
Another timeout by the Chargers.
3rd and 2.5, and you got 4:23 to go. This game is almost in the record books. And here's another birthday, Kathy Whitworth, the great golfer from Jal, New Mexico, born in 1939. And Wilford Brimley, one of my favorite character actors, 1934. And how about this? Meatloaf, 1947. Marvin Lee Aday. Mike Schmidt, 1949. Sean Cassidy, 1958. Happy birthday. And now it's going to be almost celebration time here at homecoming for the Reagan Rattlers. We never did get the royalty names tonight. They didn't get them to the press box, apparently. But
attendance was 5286.
Good crowd on a Friday night for homecoming for both teams. Now it's shotgun, full house, handoff, first down and more. Here's the 40, 35, down to the 32, down to the 30, spinning, churning, yearning, and getting more. And carrying the ball again is Carson Green. anytime you got a name Green on the football field, you know it's going to be pretty mean, because you had Gary Green, Andrew Green, Aaron Green.
And what I say about that last time? Like John Deere Green.
4 minutes to go after a 16-yard pickup, and that's going to pretty much cement it, I think.
You think?
And
well, you think right?
I think it's all over.
All over.
Handoff again. Green, 30. Cuts outside, spins, turns, and goes in for, could be a face mask as he gets about 7. Charles, that may be a hold.
Yeah, that's going to come back against the Reagan Rattlers, but not before the damage was done. That big third down conversion on the 3rd and 12. That was a killer. The Churchill Chargers was really betting on that one. They had used their timeouts, and their offense was actually up, planning to go back on the field. But
they just didn't have the strength against that big line. That's a huge line.
Yeah, I think they can.
When you're outweighed by 40 pounds, you're not going to win many battles.
Well, it wasn't just that. The Churchill offense didn't keep them off the field very long, so just, the war of attrition got to the better of them.
Yeah, and Mark, you mentioned the fact that this Reagan line is awfully young, and looking forward to see what they do in the next 2 years. And you think about that young running back there in Green. This team can do some damage.
A freshman. He's got 106 yards. What a ninth grader playing like that.
Well, and Lorenz, the quarterback, is a sophomore.
And Lorenz hands it off to the freshman, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage. Oh, he slammed to the turf. Oh my! Aiden Cabrera made it a not so gentle tackle. Churchill takes its final timeout. 3:12 to play. 23-7. They'll go to 1-4. The Rattlers, who 2 weeks ago were still in the top 10 until they lost last week to Johnson. Johnson is the only 27-6-8 team. Well, I think Roosevelt may be mentioned this week. They're in the top 10. And what was that Madison Roosevelt score, the final score? Where was it?
Not a final score. Start of the 4th quarter, Roosevelt 21, Madison 24.
Woo, what a game. When those two teams play, it's just speed against speed.
That's very true.
They said the race horses were at the starting gate in that ball game over at Cumberlander. Don Oakley's having a good time watching that one.
I bet he is.
2nd and 5 at the 35. Or rather 15. 2nd and 15. They've got to go to the 20. 18 yards in from the far side, left to right. You have a man in motion. He stops. Here's the handoff.
That's Hoggett.
Hoggett is who's a kicker, who's also the brother of an older Rattler player 2 or 3 years ago. We watched him play for a long time. But that was no gain. 3rd and 5. 2:48. I'd rather 3rd and 4. I keep forgetting about that first 10 yards on the penalty. So this may be
the last
3rd
drive,
and 5.
maybe, if they get a first down.
At 34. And not quite. No, he's still 3 yards short.
Ooh.
And he couldn't get the first down, but he picked up good yardage. Aiden Cuellar makes the stop after a 9-yard tote. And it's still short of the first down. 4th down now and still 5. Down to 2:20. Churchill scored the first time it had the ball tonight. And then that's all the scoring they've been able to capture off the scoreboard. 23-7 is the score. Reagan is just simply adding a little bit of whipped cream to the cake. And the Aggies, who do the Aggies play tomorrow?
They're playing up in Jerry World against Arkansas for that. They call it. Really?
Yeah.
They're talking about Arkansas trying to get out of the contract. Their contract to play up there every year, and that new.
On the Arkansas team when Barry Switzer was an assistant coach. 4th down and 4. The keep, the throw, and it is caught.
Campbell.
First down. Campbell goes out of bounds at the 10. Pickup of about 14 yards. And that'll seal it, my friends. 1:34 to play, 23-7.
They can just take a knee here.
Victory formation. They're going to take a knee.
To run the clock down.
Yep.
Get off. Oh, my grandson is something else, friends. You have to know him to really appreciate him.
One more.
It's been a good victory though for the young men of Sunterra.
No scoring in the second half.
It was a wide open game in that first half, but then scoreboard's been quiet here in the second half. And you're down to 23 seconds. We invite you back in 2 weeks from tonight when we'll be on the air again here on GDP Sports and Facebook. We like it. We hope you do. Let us know if you like what we do rather than the old days of radio. Sometimes radio signal wasn't always dependable on a rainy night. So that's the ball game, my friends. And Charles Vickers is down there on the sideline. He'll be talking with the victorious coach, Lyndon Hamilton. And big win for the Rattlers, a big loss for the Chargers. Homecoming night. 13 victories in a row in this series for the Rattlers. And out of 20 games in that length of years, they've won 16 times. Wow. That's like Twiggy trying to defeat Raquel Welch, you know.
Sure.
So let's go down to Charles's.
Hey, guys, Gary, I'm here with Coach Hamilton. Coach, you squeaked one. You lost one in a squeaker last week. This was kind of I don't say an easy win, but a little bit more comfortable.
I'll tell you what, anytime you play the Churchill Chargers on Friday night, you better bring your A game. They gave us a heck of a game. Kids bounced back. They were resilient. We always talk about being ready, being relentless, and being resilient, and they were tonight. They bounced back after a tough loss. Really good to, get this win tonight. I'm proud of our kids and the way they responded. Got a couple of kids a little bit banged up, but we got 2 weeks to get them ready for Madison, so we'll be fired up next week.
Okay, you got a week off. How's Staley doing?
He'll be fine. Just holding him out, making sure he's good. Luckily, he knows how to handle a little bit of adversity. So, the Lorenz kid did a tremendous job going in there and closing the thing out for us. So, proud of the way he handled himself the second half.
First couple series were a little bit rocky, but smooth going after that. What were the keys to your offense?
Just had to settle in. It's always a big game, homecoming game. Just settled in, locked in on our keys. Offense got it going up front, established the ground game. It was good job all the way around. We
like to talk about some things that way off in the future. You guys got a really young offensive line and a great young freshman running back. It must be fun to look at that.
The future's bright. We've hit a few bumps in the road early in the season, but we know that we're getting better each and every week. We're trying to not kick ourselves in the butt and stump our own toes as much, and I think we did that tonight. So hopefully we can get better over the next 2 weeks.
Hey, Charles, ask you if the Green youngsters in relation to the Green family.
Is Green related to any of the other Green families from the Madison teams?
I don't believe so. He's one in his own. I'll tell you what, he's a great kid. Extremely poised for a freshman. Handles himself extremely well, runs hard, extremely balanced, great vision, all around great kid. A leader on offense for, believe it or not, as a ninth grader. He just carries himself like a senior. So it's always good to have a young kid like that bring some charisma to the table.
Well, you guys are fun to watch. Great win tonight, and enjoy your week off.
Appreciate it. Striker.
Thanks.
The Mean Green, led by Green tonight, and
106
yards on 19 carries. That's 5 yards a tote, right? It's about my math isn't too good.
That's Oklahoma math, I guess.
Yeah. So we are putting this one in the record book. You don't have to say anything, Aggie. But anyway, 23-7 is our final, and Lincoln Riley and what's that guy's name over there? And them coaches over there.
Jimbo Fisher.
Oh, yeah, Jimbo. Okay. We'll be back to wrap it up for it and give you some final stats from Walter and some final scores from Rob Hicks. Stay tuned. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
Every San Antonio family has a dream to live in their own castle. There's one San Antonio real estate expert who can fulfill that dream, and he has provided many wonderful kingdoms for hundreds of home buyers in South Texas. Chris Collins of RE/MAX Preferred has been the realtor selected by families that want to make that dream a reality. He'll provide the expertise and confidence to purchase the home that's your address for future happiness. Call Chris at RE/MAX Preferred 210-213-2432.
Coming home means a lot of things to a lot of people. It's a place where you can kick off your shoes or even kick it up a notch. As the #1 mortgage lender in Texas for credit unions, you can trust RBFCU when buying your new home. We'll be there for you every step of the way. So whether it's buying your first home or financing your forever home, you can count on us to make your dream come true. To apply online and for complete details, visit rbfcu.org. Some restrictions may apply. Loan subject to credit approval. RBFCU is an equal housing lender.
You don't have to be a frequent flyer to know the best rent car location in San Antonio. Budget Rent Car is a locally owned company that provides a fleet of new automobiles and a staff of professionals who have served the thousands of travelers who want quick access to the airport, reasonable prices, and available quality vehicles. That's one name that stands out in the San Antonio rental business. Budget Car and Truck Rental on Sandow Road, just east of 281 North. Phone 210-824-0737. Budget Car San Antonio.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Back at Hero Stadium, where the final score is Reagan 23 and Churchill 7. No scoring in the second half, so we'll go to the stats with Walter and then take some post-game thoughts after that.
All right, the final stats for Reagan: 16 first downs to 10 for Churchill, rushing 198 yards rushing for Reagan, 118 yards passing, total of 316 yards. On the Churchill side, 69 yards rushing, 121 yards passing, for a total of 190. Third down, 6 of 13 for Reagan, 4 for 12 for Churchill. Fourth downs, Reagan 2 of 2, Churchill 0 of 1. Penalties, 6 penalties for 45 yards for Reagan, and Churchill had 8 penalties for 70 yards. And in that one drive, Reagan had the ball 16 plays and 7 minutes and 50 seconds, which takes care of a lot of the second half time.
Yeah, you just look at
Reagan. But they didn't score. They fumbled at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, but you look at Reagan, they did start off a little slow, maybe a hangover from last week's exciting game against Johnson, but then when they turned it on, you couldn't turn the faucet off.
No, and you didn't need a plumber on that play because they just took over, and we told you about this during the game. 3 players on the left side were all at least. We are looking at our schedule down the road. Of course, we don't have a game here next week because of district testing, but MacArthur and Johnson will play on Friday the 11th, which would be, 2 weeks from tonight. And then on Saturday night, 2 weeks from tomorrow night, Reagan and Madison. That could be a determining factor, right? That could be for the leadership. What was that final Madison score tonight, Rob?
It's still in the fourth quarter, and I just got a text from Colonel Lon Oakley that Madison recovered a fumble, and it's now 30-21 in the fourth quarter with about 4 minutes left.
So Madison will prevail over there. They're leading by 9.
Hey, game's not over yet. 4 minutes.
It's over. It's over. But they've got, you've got Rashad
That's
Owen.
an upset. I think that's an upset.
I thought Roosevelt was the best-looking team of the district when we saw them 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But Madison, as we were talking earlier today, and one of the coaches said they're going to have the speed boosters tonight. You had Roosevelt with its great speed. Don't forget their quarterback is very quick as well.
Well, Madison has been shut out twice this year, so they're kind of a Jekyll and
Well,
Hyde
if you
team.
recall, though, against Smithson Valley, it was against a 30-mile-an-hour wind, and they never got untracked. They kicked into the wind, and Smithson Valley built a big lead, and they couldn't recover.
Yes.
So they do have the speed, like Roosevelt, the 2 fastest teams in the district. I think, well, maybe you got some kids on this Reagan team that are pretty comparable, too. Ankrum is one of the faster kids in the city, almost 4.5, and a couple of other 4.5s. Milam is 4.5. So you got some great talent. I still say, as I told Tim Woods at halftime, it's going to be Madison, Roosevelt, Johnson, and who was the fourth? Reagan. So that's it.
Yeah, and you may have a situation there where 1 or 2 of those, or maybe 3 of those teams are 1 loss in district, and it's going to be going down to tiebreakers and who beat who as for playoff seeding. So it's still wide open, but Reagan popping back tonight after that loss to Johnson, they've got to feel better going into that bye week.
So they're 1-1 now in district. Churchill 0-2. If Madison continues to lead, they'll be 1-1. Roosevelt will be 1-1. And so it's going to be
a dogfight.
It's going to be a very tough battle down to the final 4 weeks. This is halfway point right now.
Yeah, that's what you said earlier, and I just been letting it sink in that we're already halfway through this football season. It's just gone by in lightning quick.
Oh, it's faster than a Democratic propaganda speech. I mean, gee whiz. So we'll be back in 2 weeks, and we have the crew ready to go. Mark, are you going to be here?
I'll be here both nights, Friday and Saturday.
Good.
I'll be here Friday and maybe Saturday.
Good. How about you, Mr. Holly?
That's my birthday weekend, so I might be hunting in Tarpley.
Oh, you're going to give up to go hunting, huh?
Not just Tarpley, but Pearsall, and you took this Reagan band with you. You double the population of those towns.
Yeah,
that's true.
And Rob will be back to boss us around. And
stand up, turn and face the camera, and all these other.
He lost
kind of
all
things.
that weight. That's why.
Yeah, there he is. We're changing the camera over to him to show.
He's just. There was an old show on radio 50 years ago called The Shadow. He's just a shadow of his former self.
That's right. Well, if Lon's the lieutenant colonel, then we got the general back there telling us what to do.
But tonight, Lyndon Hamilton told his team what to do, and we want to thank our earlier guest. We didn't talk to Coach Hamilton before the game. We talked to his head associate, and that's the first time he's been on with us, and he did a great job.
And Coach Hamilton's voice is in midseason form as well.
Yeah.
These high school coaches, their voices just get wrecked every year.
It's almost a replica of D.W. Rutledge.
Nothing like Jim Rackley.
That's true. Yeah. Well, the final score was 23-7. Churchill played hard, but they just don't have the Churchill Chargers. They don't have that stud that they needed in the competition for this year.
What they did in the first drive of the game, they didn't bottle it up.
That's true. And so we'll be back in 2 weeks, and we hope that you'll stay with us. And let us know if you like this setup that we have. We had a lot of complaints in the old days because they said that sometimes it would fade out on our signal, particularly on a cloudy night or something. So we decided to go this way, and we have a lot of people listening on this program, and it's a very good quality. Steve Fanning listens in Hawaii, and so
plus it's recorded and always up, so you can listen to it the next day. And I'm sure some of these young men are listening for their names to be called if they're coming back the next day listening to the game, and it's an all-week thing instead of just a Friday night thing.
Tate Damasco was the assistant coach that we had on with us at pregame, and then at halftime it was Tim Woods, associate athletic director. I want to thank Karen Funk for allowing us to be here again tonight, and until this Tuesday. Now he is the full-time superintendent for NEISD. And we are hopefully one of the full-time broadcasters for NEISD. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Final score 23-7. It's been a great first half of the season so far.
I got a couple of scoring updates for you. New Braunfels Unicorns and East Central is a final 20-24. The Unicorns lose to East Central.
Oh, that's an upset.
Yeah.
Because New Braunfels.
Is down 15-21 to Clemens.
Wow.
And Clemens got knocked off last week.
Yeah.
Yes, so they did. And both of those teams went into into this game at 3-1.
So that's the beauty of high school football in Texas.
The game in the city really was Brandeis and Brennan both going in undefeated.
Yes,
and latest score update, Brandeis is up 51-16.
Wow, Brandeis, as we saw by the opening game of the season,
yeah,
a tremendous
They look
football
pretty
team.
strong on the north side.
And let's not forget about Lavernia Bears. They're up 41-12 over Rockport Fulton.
Oh, those are the Bear Facts. So I guess
those
it's
are the
true.
Bear Facts.
Yeah. Well, we ask you to join us again in 2 weeks, and don't forget a week. Look up Lone Star Saturday, and you'll see us there, her beautiful face and my ugly mug. So, thank you for watching and listening, and it's 23-7 final score. The Reagan Rattlers back on the winning trail, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks, everybody, for joining the GDP Sports broadcast of tonight's contest, brought to you by our following sponsors. Frost, more than a century of serving Texans, and now in the Frost Tower. Central Builders, the Ehrlich family is dedicated to the construction industry with coast-to-coast projects. The law firm of Thomas J. Henry, open 24 hours with legal experts on call. John Lester's Insure One, providing Texans with home and auto protection. By Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union, a credit union that puts people before profits. By APIA Connected Investors, Shannon DeLon, providing insurance for real estate investors. BCFS, a beacon of hope for families around the world. RE/MAX by Chris Collins, buying or selling a dream home in the real estate world. GPS of Texas, peace of mind for all drivers with installed tracking devices. Dr. Eric Kuhl, providing that $1 million smile with a future of dental health. By Gridiron Heroes, dedicated to assisting young men suffering from football-related spinal cord injuries.
Cher Hills Baptist Church, where the Lord provides the football field for eternity. By Mecca Sportswear, supplying the leather jacket of pride for your school and sport. Eagle Print, where San Antonians take their printing for quality and satisfaction since 1974. Also brought to you by one name that stands out in the San Antonio rental car business, Budget Car and Truck Rental on Sandow Road just east of 281 North.